What's up, everyone? This is Wild Phil's Osophy. Let's get wild. On today's episode, I got well-seasoned comics Chicago local comedian Kyle Allen, and I'm fucking happy as fuck because, going into this comedy thing, I'm like, there's got to be at least one metalhead, and so I don't know. I guess I always start this off with, is there anything new that happened this week that you want to rant on? Anything at all? Any new events?
Well, I just got back from doing a couple shows over in Waukegan. I produced a series of shows that was on Friday and Saturday. Well, it turned out only Friday happened because Saturday got canceled because of the weather.
Yeah.
There was a terrible snowstorm up there. So that was great. So then I just spent the rest of the night getting high in my hotel, and that was just really about it.
Nice. Was there a pool or a jacuzzi at least? No.
No. I mean, well, actually there was, except for I don't have any fucking swim trunks, man. I thought about this too. And this was like a situation. I remember Friday night, I got high and I thought to myself, I should go down to the gym. And then I realized, what the fuck do I got? I don't have any fucking gym shorts. What, am I just going to work out in jeans and be like one of those psychopaths? Why not wear an orange jumpsuit while I'm at it?
That's the way to do it, man. That's what I would. If I'm ever in one of those hotels, I'm like, I'm getting my fucking money's worth here as much as I can. Like, I would have gone in that jacuzzi in my boxers. I'll be that creep for one day. No one's ever going to know me again.
Although theoretically, I probably could have gotten away with it because there was only 6 cars in the parking lot altogether. There wasn't many people living there.
Yeah.
Well, no one lives in a hotel anyway, but you get the point.
Is Waukegan's Wisconsin, right?
No, it's Illinois.
It's Illinois. Oh, and you stayed at a hotel out there?
Yep.
Because the storm, basically, right?
Yep. And also, I just didn't want to, drive all the way back home after each show. So, yeah, got the hotel for 2 nights. And
what shows was that? The No BS?
No, that was a different one. This was just called Kyle Allen Friends. Very simple, I know.
Yeah.
But whatever. I wasn't really too focused on the name. I was more focused on the lineup. The Friday was fucking killer.
Nice.
It was great, and everyone that showed up was happy with the show. All the comics did good. I was looking for a Saturday, but then I got canceled because of the weather, and so then I just took 2 edibles and then just called it a night.
Nice. So I'm just gonna double check everything is rolling okay. And I could edit all this out because I mix a mess. But all right, well, I don't know anything really that new this week. I mean, fuck, we went up to that mic in Janesville, which it's a nice looking mic. Reminds me of Comedy on State, like the layout, how it's like a quarter circle basically.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that.
What Yeah, not much else. I mean, it's almost a shame. I feel I want to thank you 3 times for coming out today because it's fucking shitty weather. I don't even think there is a mic today, is there?
I mean, if you want to go out to the north side in Chicago, there's definitely mics happening on every Sunday.
Yeah.
But I just got back from Waukegan. I'm probably just going to head home right after this. So
Yeah, just chill out.
yeah, more or less.
So what I was going to get into is, so I want to know, I've seen you at so many mics. There's often, there is time to shoot the shit and everything. Who is Kyle Allen? Where'd you originate? What town did you grow up in?
Well, I grew up mostly in Oak Forest. So I've basically been centralized within the south suburbs of Chicago throughout my entire life, whether it being my childhood home being in Park Forest, but then growing up in Oak Forest and now living in Matson. I've always been around that area.
Okay. And did you have most comedians always got you needed a retorch?
Probably. I suck
right.
at smoking cigars.
It's all good. I'll just give you the torch. Here.
Nice. I was expecting this to be branded as Wild Phil lighter torch, whatever the fuck. Anyway. Okay, let's see if I succeed in not burning myself.
Oh, you got to flip the cap up.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah. I'm not a walking liability after all.
Yeah. But yeah,
I like this. It looks like a miniature syrup dispenser from IHOP.
right? It's
Anyway.
fucking, it's powerful too. I love it, cause fucking Benny's has their torch lighters, but they literally die in like 2 days, and I just keep returning and getting new ones. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, so yeah, you start off in, you said like that whole south suburb scene, like every comic, everybody assumes you had a broken home or you had some kind of abuse or you got molested or some shit. Like how was Kyle Allen, in his early years? Was there how was that life?
Well, unfortunately, I can't say I was molested, so no. Sorry if anyone was hoping a total trauma case here.
I would have gone into detail if you were.
Of course you would. But no, not been molested, so that's cool, I guess. Yeah, just lived in like a suburban home. Dad was a drunk. That's about it. That's pretty much like the extent of the fucked up shit. I mean, most of like the drama revolving around my family either extends to my dad and his alcoholism, or my other family, which is full of a bunch of drug addicts and fucked up people and all that shit.
What do you mean by other family? Like your mom's side?
Yeah.
Do you think like some people say that passes on? Do you think you consider yourself like addicted to anything? Maybe comedy?
No, I'm not that cool.
So like, what do you when do you think was like the first time when you were growing up you're like you saw some kind of comedy, or like do you think you were a class clown, or like did you what was the first spark of like I want to do comedy?
I mean, growing up, I've always liked The Simpsons. Tommy Boy was one of my favorites. Chris Farley was one of my idols, but I didn't really think much of comedy growing up because, as a kid, you don't really even consider that as a possibility. And I didn't really like stand-up all that much. I wasn't really into that world. It wasn't until about like probably freshman year of college. That's where I started listening to George Carlin, started getting into that. And then George Carlin basically was like the only comic I listened to for a while. But then I started getting into guys like Louis C.K. and Hannibal. And then the more I started getting into that, that's when I started getting more and more curious. And then I decided to pull the trigger and write a couple of shitty jokes and hit the stage. And then I'm here in this basement. So if anything, we're coming full circle.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, so freshman year of college, what college did you go to?
First, I went to Prairie State College, community college, and then I went to Roosevelt University.
Did you enjoy the experience?
I mean, whenever I was on drugs, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably that's the only way to fucking get through it, because I was kind of forced to go through college, and I absolutely fucking hated it. Absolutely, I wanted to go to like, Columbia and shit. Not so much for, I taught myself, I guess, kind of like Chris, to mix and master audio and do it. Like what kind of DAW programs to use and all that shit. But it's more like the networking, the teachers there. You fucking I could have maybe been like those miserable guys that mix dad bands at a metal venue. So I don't know if that would have been good or bad, but I did not. I went to fucking Eastern, and I did not like Eastern Illinois at all. It was sort of like Eastern's sort of like, can you make it into UIC? No, they didn't accept you. Can you make it into Northwestern? No, they didn't accept you. All right, Eastern's the next one on the list.
Yep, I've heard many tales about Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, but yeah, I've heard.
What kind of tales? I want to hear them. Anything goes. Let's get wild.
Basically, how it's just not a good school, and also like the curriculum is shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as bad as Chicago State University, but it's not really saying all that much.
Yeah, I just like, I had a horrendous fucking like family situation. So my ma was like, I'm in love with this boyfriend. I'm changing all the locks. Here's your fucking luggage. You can live under a bridge, or you can live at a college. And by the way, you have to pay for all of it. So I ended up, I always call it immigrant mentality, where you just gotta possibly break the law and do fucked up shit to get by. I just so I had epilepsy since I was 15, and I just signed up for ROTC and didn't mention to them that I have seizures. So they paid for like my first 2.5 years. And then after 2 years, they send you out straight to Afghanistan. And I was like, oh, yeah, I have a disability, like honorable discharge, paid everything. So that was pretty sweet. And it wasn't, but yeah, dude, if anything, I did fucking ROTC because it was so boring. Like Eastern was so, the whole campus, I felt like I traveled to the 1950s. There was nothing was updated. I don't need. They might have even had fucking asbestos still in the ceilings when I was there. I just remember the one thing like I cannot that's stamped in my mind is like the shower rooms in the dorms looked exactly like the bathroom in The Shining, just like that lime green brick. It was.
Did it have a naked lady in the tub that turned into like a decrepit old woman too?
I wish she would have been the only fuckable person during that time there. There wasn't an old decrepit woman, but like it was just. Let me tell you how boring it was there, because it was just like 20 miles of cornfields in a circle, and when you go to any college, I mean, I don't know if this is a Chicago thing because of segregation, but you clearly, like from high school, you stay with your clique. So it was like all the black guys who played basketball hung out and partied together. Obviously the frats. Then it's like the guys who play football. And I sort of just fit in with, I was into the whole punk rock skinhead thing. So I hung out with the stoners. Every fucking campus develops the white dudes with dreads who are obsessed with fish.
I think you should clarify that.
Yes,
what
yes.
you mean when you say
Sharps.
that you're with the skinheads.
Yes,
because if you want this, like, oh yeah, it's so segregated. But meanwhile, I hung out with the white supremacists and all that, but they were cool.
No.
I never understood why the black guys never approached us.
No. The UK sharp skinheads against racial prejudice.
Yes,
type.
contrary to what people think, when the skinheads first started in England, it wasn't meant to be racist or anything to deal with white supremacy. But
it was strictly working class.
Much like what white people do, they culturally appropriate, then made it racist.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like, I don't know. It was just a bunch of guys. You know the way I looked at like that whole UK skinhead thing. It was like guys who love punk music. They work, but they don't want to like dye their fucking hair and spike it every day. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
So
I've known guys who've done that.
Yeah, and every guy that I knew that did that is from the amount of bleach and hairspray. They have like a Doc style haircut now. They just have to spike the sides and they're bald in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
But so I hung out with these stoners, and here's the fun. Like this is how I describe Eastern. It was so fucking boring there. We just clearly, like, we had these cliques that we hang out with, and one day I had one of the jock guys come up to me. He goes, "Hey Phil, are you going to the show?" I'm like, "No, what show?" Oh, and I mentioned like every fucking college has these guys where they're obsessed with fish, or like, let's get high and play hacky sack all day. So I hung out with these guys. I'm like, "What is this jock doing here?" He goes, "You going to the show?" I go, "What show?" He goes, "Oh, everyone's going. Like everyone, like even the guys who play basketball, the stoners." I'm like, "What show? What are you talking about?" R. Kelly was in town, and we were so bored. We're like, let's just fucking do something, even if it means to get pissed on by this horrendous R&B singer. And
don't worry, you guys are too old.
Yeah, we're not his type.
Yeah,
but yeah, I did not enjoy it. I was so fucking bored there. I used to snort Nodos and then try and run 6 miles until I was like no longer anxious, even though I was like making myself anxious.
So basically, to sum up your college experience, you saw an R. Kelly concert.
Yeah. No. I ended up not going. I was one of the few that did not went.
Oh man,
I missed out.
Your college experience was awful.
Yeah.
You didn't even get to see R. Kelly, man.
No, dude. College is. I fucking I ended up like getting, what is it called? I forgot how you pronounce it, cum laude or whatever, where you're the top 10%.
I was a cum laude when I graduated community college,
and I never used my degree for shit. It's to me it's a scam. That's just my opinion. But So you ended up continuing. You kind of got into it freshman year of college, and like, when do you think was like the first time you're like, I want to fucking try and hit up a mic and like do my own thing? Like,
So I left out a few other key things that led to my decision of doing stand up. Around the time that I was in college, basically around the time I started going to Roosevelt, me and some buddies, we were trying to work on this web series type thing. It started out with several different projects. None of them were actually really worked on or completely finished. Basically, it was just like a bunch of friends who had wide-eyed enthusiasm and absolutely no perspective of the real world and any practical meaning of how entertainment is supposed to be done. But yeah, we tried to do like a web series, and then we tried to do like a web show, similar to like those Channel Awesome like movie review type shows, which means it wasn't very good. And then I got tired of that because I got tired of dealing with people who don't really have the same ambition or drive, also aren't really getting stuff done. So I said to myself, fuck it, I'm just going to go out and do comedy because that way I can just like rely on myself. And that's that basically was the entire catalyst for me doing comedy.
yeah. Do you have any of the old clips of that series?
I hope not.
I guess I kind of can relate. I When I was in high school, funny thing was, so I grew up in Chicago, and
Me too.
I had this friend who I met in high school. It was crazy. Like, I went to a school when I was in like second grade, and we became best friends. But then I had to move to a school, and then we just reunited in high school. And the thing was, I was like really into Slayer, Mayhem, Dillinger Escape Plan, and I loved playing like metal. But then my friend, he was like more into the comedy thing. He loved like Weird Al and Pee Wee Herman, but he played drums. So we collaborated and we like compromised. We made this joke metal band. We were called Sir Bastards.
Sir Bastards.
Yeah, and we it was just me and him. Every show, it. I hate saying it. I know you hit. It was wild. It was fucking because every show we had a different costume from like when thrift stores would accept anything. I mean, I think one time I wore a trench coat that actually had a bullet hole through it, and we like a Mickey Mouse hat, and we were like, how can we be the most ridiculous? You know how grindcore bands, they have the breakdowns, and in between they have the pig snorts. We would have breakdowns, but in between we had like a kid's bicycle horn to replace the pig snorts.
That sounds like some good shit over there.
Yeah. And then the other thing was I just remember the funniest show we had. We submitted into a Battle of the Bands, which fucking sucks because every time you go to a Battle of the Bands, it's just whoever brings the most of their family and friends. So it could be like some jock guys who are obsessed with whoever the fuck, Nickelback. They're going to win because they brought the most people. So I told my drummer, I'm like, what can we do? We're already ridiculous. We're already doing the funniest shit. That's how we're going to be remembered. But what can we do to like win over this crowd? And next door was a Popeyes. So I just bought like 3 buckets of wings that I was just throwing into the crowd during the show. And I think that actually got people mad, getting like a drumstick of grease to the forehead.
Normally when the drummer throws a drumstick, they don't actually mean that literally.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and now what is it? Fucking like more than 15 years later. My shout out to my buddy Billy. He's doing just improv in L.A. It's called Gold Baby, and he's doing pretty well. He was one of the funniest people I knew growing up, but he never liked stand up. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so like you said you did this web series, and then like, so what do you think at that time, not necessarily now, at that time where you were like from web series to maybe doing stand up, was it still like George Carlin that was at like your top influence?
Yeah, Carlin is still like one of my top influences, but obviously like I branched out and listened to other comics along the way. my style is more like centered around a set punchline. So that was mainly from listening to guys such as Anthony Jeselnik, early Mike Birbiglia before he started doing all the stories and one man show shit, and also guys like Daniel Tosh and old Hannibal Buress, for instance. If that kind of sums up.
What do you mean by you don't like the new Hannibal Buress? I haven't really like
Hannibal is still funny, but if I were to pick a certain area, I would pick his old stuff.
Yeah.
His old stuff is definitely more centered in joke format. Not saying the new stuff isn't. It's just the old stuff is a little bit more bare bones jokes.
Have you seen him on recently on Steve-O's podcast?
I have not.
He was.
Do you really want to talk about another podcast on
this
podcast?
No. I mean, we could talk. I go with the flow wherever it goes. But the reason why I mention is because it was really awkward. Because the reason why I asked, like, why old over new, he was talking about how like he got to this point where he felt like people were looking at him as like this puppet on strings jester. So now he's like focusing on music, and he got really emotional. It was weird. Like it was crazy. I don't know. I would not expect. It was just a side of him that I did not see. I never really got into Hannibal. I mean, I got into him strictly for the reason that he's from Chicago, but it was just like.
So Hannibal Buress definitely is like a comic on a very elevated level. Let's just say that. Is he like Kevin Hart level? No. But in Chicago, because like he came from that area, like rather recently, like I mean basically within like the 2000s, that was around the time where him, Kyle Kinane, Kumail Nanjiani, TJ Miller all kind of came up around the same time. So Hannibal has sort of like almost like a folk hero like mythos to him. Like he is like the guy as far as Chicago comedy is concerned.
Yeah. Okay. I was just thinking about how it was weird to me when Andrew Santino became huge, because like I never heard. I think I mentioned this to you before, that I couldn't believe he was from Chicago, because I never heard. I heard of Buress, Kinane, this list from Chicago, but I never heard Santino until he became huge.
There's also like those other Chicago comics who are respectively big in their own right, who just don't really get brought up as much. Santino is one of them. If you want to count, Sebastian Maniscalco started in Chicago, but then he did most of his teeth cutting over in L.A.
Yeah, I love Sebastian because the way he describes his upbringing is exactly the neighborhood that I grew up in Chicago. It was all fucking Irish, Polish, Italian, either union guys or legitimized mafia like guys. And it was just, I know I can completely relate to that. But, and I watched fucking Santino's special last night, the cheeseburger. It was pretty good. It was probably, it was the first special I watched of his, but I did like it. So back to, where do you think, when you first came out, like, how do you think that how right now, how many years?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years and some change.
How do you feel about it after 7 years?
Well, I haven't killed myself, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. So like are you really good at resisting getting jaded, or it just didn't affect you that way? Because I've seen it affect.
We're always going to get jaded in some regard. I mean, the comedy is such like an up and down journey. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was definitely like moments where things seemed like they were going really good, a lot of potential on the horizon. Then sometimes that will segue into moments where you're just crying in your car and listening to Depeche Mode, because Depeche Mode is like the perfect soundtrack for depression for some reason.
Was that you, like, right before you came here? Like, I'm going on this open micers fucking podcast. What am I doing with my life?
No, I wasn't doing that. My Bluetooth couldn't connect, so I couldn't listen to Depeche Mode.
Okay.
So no crying.
No cry. Okay. But do you think so? When you started open miking, like, what was? Do you remember your first one?
Vividly. Very vividly. So basically, the very first open mic was over at Riddle's Comedy Club in Allsup. It's still around. And it's not the nicest club. Let's just say that. It's kind of a shithole in its own right, but whatever. It's there. I gotta respect it. I mean, even if it is not the most savory location, like that, there is a distinction for being the cockroach of the comedy scene because that club just doesn't die. It's still around.
What do you think what do you think made it like it's not the safest, it's not the like best anymore? Like what? How has it changed? What?
I mean, it's just kind of run down. That's it. The original Riddles, I'm really like jeopardizing my booking chances for Riddles in the future by talking about this.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole thing of Riddles, their journey was that they were originally in Orland Park, and they were a really good club from what I've heard. I was never around that time. So they were a really good club. Then they moved, and then they stopped becoming a really good club. And then when I started going there, it wasn't like the greatest. Kind of run down, like I keep mentioning. Also, there wasn't like a lot of people coming out to the open mic. Ticket sales for weekend shows were pretty bad too. From what I understand, ticket sales have definitely improved over time. Now that there's been like a new booker and with that crop of talent that they normally pull from. So yeah, it seems like they're doing okay. I still have a soft spot in my heart for them, despite the fact how much I shit talked them for the last 2 minutes. But yeah. Anyway, the first night I did stand-up comedy, it was over at Riddle's Comedy Club. And I remember, like, I was thinking about doing this for the last couple of months. And I always tell people that if they're thinking about doing stand-up, to just fucking do it. Because the more that you keep saying that, oh, one of these days, we're going to go ahead and do it. You're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it. Quit being a bitch. And just fucking man up and write some shitty jokes and bomb like the rest of us. I don't know why I'm shaking, but whatever. It's for the effect. Anyway, yeah, so the week before I went to the open mic just to watch, just to see what it's about and see what the comics are doing, what the etiquette is like. Because I didn't want to be like a complete jag-off. I mean, it was bad enough I was going to probably suck on stage. It'd be even worse if I was a complete asshole in the process. So, got a lay of the land, wrote some jokes. I figured for my first time doing comedy, I figured there was no other fitting topic than masturbation. And yeah, talked about masturbation. And I thought these masturbation jokes weren't clever enough, so I decided to throw a Hitler joke in there for good measure because, that's still relevant for some reason. And then I did my set. And the best thing I can say about my set is I respected the light. I didn't go over my time.
Mm-hmm.
And to anyone who's watching, if you don't understand the term respecting the light, you get a light letting you know that you have like a minute left just so you can wrap it up and all that shit. So, surprisingly, I didn't really bomb as much as I would have anticipated. But the host at the time went up and said, bro, you did a whole set about masturbation jokes and Hitler jokes. You are the stereotype of a first-timer.
Yeah, but
he wasn't wrong.
I mean, you know what? If you can make it funny, like I like you said, just keep going. Just keep going with the flow. It's a process that you learn, That's what I'm learning is just it's something that you just have to keep fucking going with despite whatever, it's so unpredictable that I almost love it. That's why I think I didn't even get the confidence to do stand up until during lockdown when I hit all these horrible lows in my life that I tried jujitsu, and it just reminded me of that. It was of bombing and going up again. Bombing. It's like, all right, I got you in a rear naked choke. Well, maybe I'll flip you over and I'll break your fucking knee. And maybe you flip me over and you'll try and break my arm. You just keep fucking going, like. But do you remember your first joke by any chance? that you care to share?
Oh, not really. I'm going to paraphrase because there's this one thing that it was talking about, like, I was talking about masturbating for the first time. And just to paraphrase, like you're in the heat of the moment. Before you know it, you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I spilled milk in the shower.
Yeah.
And that got a big groan, or maybe that was a pity groan. Maybe because they recognized it was my first time going up. It's like this doesn't even deserve like a full cringe. We're just going to give you a pity cringe to make it seem like you got an effect out of us.
Do you have any people that you think you started out with at that time that you still see today that like keep going with that grind?
Yes, actually, the guy who I started with on that very same day, his name is Alan Ford, one of my very good friends. Has 2 albums out on Spotify. Done a couple shows with him. Just did a show just several weeks ago out in Miller Beach, Indiana. So yeah, like we're still very tight and very deep.
Do you think would you say he was like your mentor as well? That was helping. You guys were sort of like pushing each other to.
I mean, we literally started the same day.
Yeah.
We were not friends prior to that. We met.
Yeah.
At that day, and then like over time we became really good friends, and also like I gave him rides a lot through our friendship.
Yeah. That's why I personally like I have such a thankful respect for Chris and TJ at Joe's, because that's the exact same thing. You know, I've mentioned this many times, but I tried it like 5 or 6 years ago, bombed horribly, and I was very much. I think sometimes I'll admit like I'm kind of a little bit codependent with shit, and I was going with my friend who my buddy Bill Schmidt. He's a blind comedian. He doesn't do it as much. He's kind of like, I'll hit up a mic once a month type. I don't think he's as like professional or motivated about it. But what happened is he whenever I went up with him, his friends were there, so it was almost like easier laughs. And then when I bombed, I needed somebody to tell me, "Yo, bitch, just go the fuck up there." And I think TJ and Chris did that for me in a nicer way, because they're great, especially TJ. Like I have very little in common as far as like whatever likes in life with TJ and Chris, but they were like, "Dude, just fucking go up there. Even if you're gonna tell a fucking funny story, just do it." And it went a lot more well than I intended it to be. And my fucking watch kept going off. Your stress level is way too high right now. Do you need to call 911?
Wait, you have a watch that determines your stress levels?
Yeah.
You're that bad?
That bad, man. It's not even that. It's just the panic attacks. I'm telling you. I mean, I was just saying, like, I didn't even. I heard this recently. Did you know I didn't even know this, that that's why Mitch Hedberg got into heroin, was because he just had crippling anxiety all the time.
I did not hear that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. They were talking about how he started off with alcohol, but it's because that fame grew so much. He was like, I need something else because some people just never get rid of that crippling anxiety. And I know that when you're like, for example, me, when you're a comedian fan, what really helped me kind of say, fuck it, this is part of the process, the panic, the anxiety, was when I would watch Kyle Kinane, and I noticed, like, you notice the little things. Where's the punch? When does he pause for laughs? And I noticed that every time he holds a mic, his hand's kind of like going like this. You know, it's kind of like he's holding a jackhammer. I'm like, wow, even the fucking pros still they got that nervousness. So it's okay. It's going to be okay.
There's also a little technique that a lot of other comics like to do too, is that if they're standing still, because obviously you don't want to be, fidgeting around too much. So what you'll see some people do is like, off to the side, you'll see their fingers kind of like twitch around a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's basically to help like get out all the nerves without being too distracting about it or too obvious. So you'll see a lot of people do that. Like I remember I saw Brian Regan, he would do that too, just like, the twitch of the fingers. And it does help to get the nerves out.
Yeah.
And also like rely on your other arm to gesture. That's also a good way to get all that pent up energy out, because when you're not used to it, you won't realize how much of a mess you'll look like on stage. You'll think you'll be calm and cool, but no, it turns out you're pacing back and forth like a goddamn pendulum, and you gotta pick up on like all the ticks that you're not aware of. So it's a process.
Yeah, it's trial and I realized, like, one thing I used to do, I think that's what got me when I would get up first and like scream. What I used to get up and I would just like shadow box just to get all the fucking nerves out. And I was like, dude, I'm starting to look like personally, I don't mind Rogan's podcast, but when he constantly talks about how much he fucking loves Kinnison, and I don't like Rogan's stand up at all. And you could see he's like, the more I'll shout and be obnoxious, the more laughs I'll get. And that's bullshit. And I was like, I don't want to become that. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should meditate before. The other thing I noticed too was, like, I love cigars, but I cannot have, I shouldn't have one before I do stand up. I like it on this kind of format because it just helps me flow with a conversation. But being on stage, you're not having a fucking conversation. You're performing an act, you know.
You're performing an act while also make it seem like that it's a spontaneous conversation.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, people are aware that what we do on stage is, in a sense, premeditated and thought out. But there's also a fair amount of people who still think that we just make up stuff. But regardless of whoever camp each person belongs to, we always want to make it seem like that we're coming up with this right on the spot. Like, we want to maintain that illusion. It's like a magician. Look, we know that deck in the card that, you know, it says your card, you know, that type of shit. We all know that shit is like, it's trickery, but we go along with it because it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's essentially like how we approach stand-up comedy. Is like, we want to maintain that illusion. We're like magicians, but with severely more substance abuse issues.
Yeah. I personally, and I know that certain people really don't like this, my type of comedy, I like to like take, how far can I take the discomfort level and then hit the laugh. That's kind of like because I'm just an OG troll. I like to fucking be a troll since I was a kid. Just pranks. I was into fucking Jackass. My friend that I was in this joke band with, we would make similar, like how when you were explaining a web series, we would sort of like, you need the torch?
I guess I'll use the big lighter.
So
Put this to use.
So I was sort of like, I just love bringing, I love handling topics that people don't necessarily want to talk about, but I'm like, if I can make this funny, this is sort of like a, plus the other thing, I know we mentioned when I was talking to you about the other day, we can agree to disagree. I love mentioning personal stories because I just have so many fucking, it obviously peppered with punchlines, but I could never, in my personal experience, I could never sort of like 100% just tell something that didn't ever fucking happen. That's just me though. I mean, maybe I'm moving ahead of myself, but do you think so when do you feel, I don't know if you said this or I heard somebody say this, where you felt like you sort of found your personal Kyle Allen voice after the pandemic? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we talked about this in the car several days ago, and to sort of like paraphrase that, I felt like the pandemic actually was a very beneficial thing for me as far as comedy, because it gave me that moment, because I wasn't doing comedy, I was, you know, at home most of the time. It gave me a moment to reflect and like put things in perspective and realize that I wasn't really who I wanted to be while doing comedy. And initially my goal was to try to be a comic and, you know, try to get booked at clubs and whatever, tried to work as clean as possible at the time. I was still doing the dark, fucked up shit too, but whatever. I got to a point where I realized this doesn't really feel like me. So that's when I brought back the band T-shirts and the leather jackets and started wearing a bandana, because that's kind of how I was before I started doing comedy. I used to have long hair, total metalhead and all that. And then when I started doing comedy, I went for like more of a clean cut look, trying to look as professional and spiffy as I can, because I thought that would be my sure chance of getting recognized if I looked like everyone else. But
So you had a point where you're like, guys, I'm coming out of the metalhead closet. I'm not holding it back anymore.
yeah, in a sense, it's not really just metal. It's just like I felt like I wasn't really being 100% myself. I mean, I was more strict about trying to be as clean as possible back in the day, but then I realized that, I mean, you could probably tell, but just by listening to this episode already, that's just how I talk. I swear a lot.
Yeah.
And
Like you're saying, the person you're on stage is how you are just regularly.
for the most part, yeah, because I'm not going to say it's 100% a complete reflection of who I am
Yeah.
off stage, because there is such a thing as personal truth and artistic truth. And what I'm doing on stage, there is definitely a semblance of me that is truth and honest.
Yeah.
But also, it's also an exaggeration of who I am too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, although I feel like I'm more of myself on stage nowadays, it still is a character by the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why we have the term persona, because that's who we are on stage, and that's either something that people are aware of or they're not aware of, and that's just what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, do you call it like? Is it called like? Would you say it's the? So what's funny is like when I was trying to get back into the scene, because when I 5-6 years ago, basically what I did was when I wasn't fitting in with my best friend's comedy, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do mics on my own, see who I like the best, and kind of try and follow them around. And at that time, I kept doing Blue Line Laughs. Do you remember that at Independent Tap?
I've never been there. I only know of it. I know some of the people who used to run it, but not familiar with the room 100%.
Are you talking about Bob Rock?
Yeah,
Yeah,
good guy.
yeah, and
He's a rapper now, isn't he?
yeah. It's actually kind of funny because so 2 years before I met Bob Rock, I didn't know, but I was so.
And also, we should clarify, Bob Rock is a different guy than the guy who produced for Metallica.
Yeah.
We should clarify that, because people are thinking that we ran into
This isn't.
we ran into the guy who produced Saint Anger at open mic. No, that wasn't
No.
like that. We're not that connected.
No, this is
This is a nickname. His name is Bob Rock, and I don't know if the real Bob Rock, if that's his real name too. That could be just like some poser nickname too.
No. He's like a Puerto Rican rapper from Niles, right? And he and he got in.
When I said poser nickname, I was referring to the actual Bob Rock, the producer, not the one that we personally know. He's good. We're not saying anything.
Hey,
he's not a douchebag.
We're metalheads. They're all fucking posers, right?
Fuck that mentality.
Yeah,
man,
I know.
Whole poser shit.
I know.
We're all fucking posers in some regard, because everyone has like an idea of who they want to be, and they just try to go about their life to maintain that as much as they can, even if they really can't maintain that image.
That word made me laugh my entire life because it was like the N word for metalheads.
What, poser?
Yeah, because basically it's a person who used to be called a poser that is trying to live up to not being one, and they're calling it. But anyway, no. So what was funny is I was that fucking immigrant kid who like I didn't learn English till I was like 10, but I ended up like winning awards for my papers and shit. So I went to here's what's funny is I went to Triton, and my English teacher, like I won this creative writing award and all this bullshit, and she's like, hey, would you want to have we have a Triton like AM radio station on the weekends or whatever. Would you want to run your own show? And I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of fucking cool. Do you care what do you care what I have on there? She goes, no, I mean, if you can provide all the mics, all the mixing and mastering, we'll do it all together. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome, because it could be poetry, it could be comedy, I could promote my friends' bands on there. And she was, my teacher was Yugoslavian, and her best friend, I didn't know at the time, is Bob Rock's wife. Her name's Sneza. And we ended up doing this show. It kind of like just faded away, but I remember I didn't even realize that this got them mad, but I was like, yeah, let's call it Poetry Music Show, because it's once a month, and they didn't realize till later that it's PMS. I was like, oh, that'd be a kind of a funny joke, and they're like, all right, we're not doing this anymore. But anyways, I ended up what I was saying is, like, I would follow these comedians that I liked, and I remember at Blue Line Laughs, the people that I fucking love there, that I still love to this day, was at the top, Rena Calm, Cameron Little, John Torres, and I think there was somebody else, but
all very solid comics.
Yeah.
Rena Calm is very much killing it in the game. She's a working comic. Lives in her car and actually doesn't make it look sad.
Yeah.
Like, she actually, like,
and I don't,
just to make this look actually appealing. Oh, wow, she's figured it out.
And I don't fucking kiss people's asses. I literally cannot believe that she's, like, not famous because of the amount of work that she's put into it. The other thing about Rena that I was like, you only, especially me being a new comic, I only knew what was available to the public, which at the time I kept hearing, like, all women comics do is talk about their pussy, and that's all they're famous for and all this shit. And I was like, holy fuck. Rena was like the first, like, super awesome female comic that I ever heard. I was like, how is this person who's local 20 times better than these people I see on fucking Netflix, But she's, yeah, it's...
Well, there's also another thing, too, that a lot of people won't really pick up on, is that, yeah, there will be instances where you think to yourself, if you're doing comedy for a long time, you get to see, like, your peers and all that, you'll realize, hey, there's some people who aren't famous who just happen to be funnier, and I think there's a few things that go into it. Sometimes with entertainment industry, especially in comedy, you don't really get someone who is the funniest to be, like, mainstream accessible. You just get the person who's funny enough and, more importantly, marketable.
Yeah. And also...
Like, okay, so I'll use this as an example. Kevin Hart. I respect him a lot as a comic. Not really so much the material, but as a man who has gone about and defied the odds and actually achieved what he's achieved, and the mentality he has, I respect it. But also, is he the funniest? No. Far from it. His early stuff is actually pretty good, but the later stuff, like, not really my thing, but people eat it up. He is marketable. He has that mainstream accessibility.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that ties into, like, that you may see, like, funnier people, like, doing weekends over at Zany's or whatever, and maybe they're not selling out, but they're just as funny, if not funnier, but they don't really get the recognition. It's because sometimes those people maybe just haven't gotten that far up the tone pole, or maybe they have, and they just are not what executives are looking for.
Yeah. I also, this is my personal belief. Have you know what scientifically, like, what luck means? Like, what exactly lucky means scientifically?
No, but I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
I am. I heard this and I was like, this is fucking... I 100% relate this coming from the music scene, because I was in a psych rock band for 7 years. We toured the Midwest. I was right about to, like, actually get a big break, but then dude, band members suck ass. You got this guy. You got the bass player is in for it to fuck underage girls. The drummers the drummer's in for it for the drugs. This guy's in for it because he just wants to travel. And this guy's in for it because he just wants to be in a band. He doesn't want to get famous. So you basically every situation that I've been in with bands, I've been like the babysitter doing the most work for everybody, and I just became so fucking jaded by it. I still release music solo. It's still all over the place, but I just know that coming from the music scene, I learned this idea of luck, meaning, like you were saying, there's these super talented comics. Sometimes all it is doing your best. Luck is doing your best at the perfect time, and just taking that opportunity. That's what luck is. And when you say like people like, why would somebody say Kevin Hart isn't like exactly the funniest, but he's so huge? Somewhere along the line, there was that chance of luck that he got, and somebody who might be funnier than him didn't. Somebody was in that crowd that was watching him, and they're like, you're the next guy,
And I may not think he's the funniest, but I gotta admit that he is charismatic as all hell.
Yeah.
He is entertaining up there. He's got like this type of personality that people just feel comfortable to laugh at.
Yeah.
Like there's just some people who are disarming. And I'm not saying like Kevin Hart's material doesn't have any grit. I mean, there's some here and there, but it's not meant to be divisive or polarizing.
Yeah.
And there's some like type of disarming element to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, ties into marketability.
Yeah.
He is a very marketable comic.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would say he's probably the most marketable comic at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can be the spokesperson for Capital One, I would say that says something right there.
Yeah, yeah. To me, it's like, it's also like what your goals are. Like, to me, what got me, so people ask me like, so what made you go from that 5 years ago to try and get back into it again? I remember I was working at this job, and I didn't know what the fuck a podcast was. And I would just go to lunch and rant about these ridiculous fucking situations I'm in, whether they have to do with crime or fucking trauma. And somebody's like, dude, you have to listen to Rogan's podcast. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, all I know him for is being this jockey tool on Fear Factor. It's like, no, but you got to listen to it because this guy, Joey Diaz, I'm sure you know his history. He became a comic from being in prison and doing stand-up. And I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me a person with that much of a fucked up life could get somewhere by making that funny? And I was like, well, there might be a place for me, because they told me they're like, you're like the fucking Polish Joey Diaz of Chicago. You need to fucking tell these stories on stage. And I was like, well, why not give it a shot? Because to me, it's like, I know right now I would never fucking get to the point, or I would maybe, I don't know, who the fuck knows, but I don't expect to get to the point of like a Kevin Hart. But at the same time, that's what got me back into it after like bombing. I'm like, do I want Kevin Hart's audience to like my style of comedy? They don't even know what it's like to be me. Maybe I could cater to somebody else, like these people that I like, Big J or Joey Diaz, And that's kind of what motivated me to be back in. Is I was like, you know what else? Comparing it to music, it was like, why would I, like these music genres? It's like, why would I? There's a cat creeping on us, but I was like, why the fuck would I? It would be like, how do I word this? The nicotine's really, really hitting my brain right now. It's like, why would I try and make a Beatles fan and tell them like, you got to listen to Rotting Christ. You'll love them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a disparity between those two types of
because everybody's funny is different.
Yeah.
I've known people who love the same shit as me, whether it's like I said, Joey Diaz, Big J Okerson, and then I'm like, you got to check out Bobby Lee, and they fucking hate Bobby Lee, but I love Bobby Lee.
I do like Bobby Lee quite a bit too. He's just one of the best performers out there.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of what you think of his material, like, I mean, watch him live. He is like one of the most outrageous performers out there.
Yeah.
Talk about like someone who puts it all out there.
He's the master of discomfort, in my opinion. Like, that's what I love. The last time, he was the last person I saw before lockdown, and I even got this on video. I don't know if I should share, but it was like borderline Andy Dick shit, because it was at the Schaumburg, the Improv.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, guys, I'm going to tell a gay joke. And some guy in the crowd is like, I don't want to fucking hear any gay shit. He goes, oh, you got a problem with gay stuff, huh? And he just stripped naked, dove from the stage, crotch first, onto this guy's face. And I'm like, that's fucking wild. That's what I love, you know? Like, but, and I can't believe he's not getting sued, you know? Like,
I can't believe hasn't gotten sued here, because I've heard other stories where he's done some equally, if not even more outlandish shit than that. So
the diarrhea story or whatever, like,
yeah,
on Mad TV or whatever.
Well, I've also heard like people who've worked with him who's, you know, he's done some crazy shit like taking his balls out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like, that being said, as great as Bobby Lee is, like, I feel like people should be wary that he can do that stuff because he's Bobby Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to like get to that same level where you can say all this outlandish shit and then people still stay in the showroom, you gotta fucking work at it, and you gotta build that persona where it works with all that and people can actually like you.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only other thing I could compare with how I was saying as far as like what's funny and even like music genre, the only other thing I said that got me jaded from music scene is like the whole there's a fucking crab mentality in every scene where if you're a little bit different, people will not like that. And I really felt like for me, when I got back into it, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do my thing. You need to be proud of yourself to find that voice. And the sooner that you are finding who you are, it's you know, it is a process. You have to have humility. You have to have people tell you like, this is fucking stupid. Like, don't drop this, you know? And yeah, I love the learning process. I love it. I don't think I've ever been this dedicated to things. I mean, I guess you could say musically, but yeah, I don't know. Do you think so? To move on to, I wanted to talk about metal, man.
Okay.
But before I wanted to say, like, who do you think right now at the stage that you're? So, well, I have to mention you won the fucking best. What was it? The best run mic at the Burby, or do you not want to mention?
I'm going to clarify. So, what he's referring to is I won an award called the Burby. I was nominated for Best Host and won late 2022. Basically, the Burbies are not a industry recognized award. It's just an award ceremony conducted by people around the scene, particularly within the Chicago suburbs, hence the term Burby.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I got nominated for that and won. And is it really like make my career? No, but it was very nice, and also it kind of helped me, you know, kickstart a few things, and you know, got that momentum going. That was a confidence boost I needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool.
I have to congratulate you, because I will say, out of every category there, I think, that freaks out everybody on the cast. I have a timed feeder, and it has a sound clip that my wife goes, feeding time, like. So anyways, but yeah, no, I gotta say, like, that I feel like you had the most genuine speech, and I felt like it was almost the most deserved. I'm not gonna suck your dick here, but I'm just saying, like, it was a cool fucking thing. The other thing that I want to mention, like, everything is a flaw and a benefit. That's why I live by Taoism, yin and yang, and I feel like in coming from an outsider, sort of like accepting that I am a fucking outsider and just being myself, I see the benefit in my position of being unbiased And what I'm seeing that's unbiased, a lot of people, I feel there's a lot of hate that's kind of lingering about between whether you're a fucking city comic or a burbies comic, like a suburb comic. And I honestly, I think the fucking it's evening out pretty well. I think I have a lot more. I don't think it's because I'm from the suburbs, because I do mics all over the place, but I think it's the suburb comics are fucking coming up. Like I'm liking them. I don't know how you feel about.
So when I was coming up, there was definitely more of a distinction between like city comics and suburb comics, and that has started to mellow out where it doesn't really matter so much. I think it's for some possible reasons. The other one being that there are some good comics coming from the Chicago suburbs who are gaining some traction, or it's just that, in my perspective, I felt maybe like I was in the outside, but now that I'm like 7 years into this shit, I can think to myself like, oh, we're not all that different. We're all just the same. I mean, we're just trying to do this shit. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter where we are, if we're from like Lakeview or maybe like Lombard. We're all still trying to work at this.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's great too. It got to the point where I feel like people were feeling like it's just silly. It's like the East West Coast rap feud, from the 90s.
Well, I mean, people like to create rivalries. I'm not talking about like comics. It's just like people.
Tribalism.
Humanity thrives on conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's terrible. It sucks. It's very primitive. And it's very backwards thinking. But that's just how humans are sort of wired. It's like we're wired for conflict, not necessarily war or anything like that. But it's like people like to group together with people that are similar and common to them.
Yeah,
and they tend to antagonize people who are different from each other.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from. Is it from anything personal? Not necessarily. More often than not, it's not personal. They may think it's personal, but is it really personal in the long run? No.
Yeah. I knew I would say a percentage of why I stopped 5 years ago and why I liked those comics that I mentioned from that far back is because I felt almost like when I did Mics in the City at that time, because I think like Trump just got into office, the only way you sort of like it almost seemed to me like I wanted to go up there and just be silly. And a lot of people were like, all right, how can we shit on politics? How can we thrive on politics? And to me, politics is such a fucking boring, stupid subject. It's just,
for one, you risk alienating the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for expressing political viewpoints. I mean, after all, Carlin was one of my favorites, and that man was very vocal about how he felt about Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also funny, so that made it work. And also, too, like with political material, not only does it risk alienating people because you're attacking one side over the other, but also you gotta keep up with that shit. I mean, politics, it's like doing jokes about like current events. Like yeah, you could do that, but how long can you do that material before you have to scrap it because it's not relevant anymore?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Carlin at least had the benefit that all those jokes from the 80s where he shat on Republicans, they still sound like they can hold up today. And by the way, there's if you're a Republican, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a Democrat, but whatever. We're all in this together. We're all paying taxes and waking up for work and shit like that. And I think that was a good speech to unite people.
Yeah, yeah. I also look at it like that political world, what it meant to be a Democrat and Republican back then was different. And also part of the reason why I think what made Carlin so amazing is I don't think I could name another comedian at that time that was doing that type of political stuff. It wasn't like oversaturated,
Right.
That's why sometimes, like, I mention to people now, this is just my opinion. I'm, like I said, I'm a fucking noob. But to me, when people say, like, I knew when I started doing, I'm like, well, yeah, it'd be funny to do, like, some Trump jokes, right? But they're like, no, those are becoming hacky. Well, to me, what's like, I still do, like, quote unquote, white people jokes, just shitting on, like, white culture, but it's starting to become hacky. So I try to stick to silly as much as I can. You know,
Right.
I never brought a like emotion into it where I'm like, oh, this is offensive or some shit. But it's just like, how can I put my sort of the Phil seasoning onto this outlook, you know?
A premise is basically like a chord progression in a song, in the sense that there is almost no unique chord progressions.
Yeah.
They're all recycled.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's what you do with it that makes it stand out, what the actual song is.
Yeah.
And that's what a punchline is. And a punchline is sort of like the song, and the premise is sort of like the chord progression behind it.
I'm still working on when you recommended I read Running the Light by Sam Talent. I'm still working on reading it just because I'm recently I've been addicted to fucking crossword apps on my phone. So it's hard to go past that and go into my Kindle instead of like do crossword, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but
It's a very good book. And you also wanted to talk about metal. I remember that.
yes. I'm sorry. I'm my brain is going all over the place. I have the nicotine is going high. So, how do you feel like? Do you segueing from comedy to metal? Do you have like a full metal set that you've ever like wanted to perform? I've had the problem where like I have metal jokes, but I'm like nobody is gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know?
I have one joke relating to metal, but I don't really do that one too often because, like, I know that most people don't listen to the music that I listen to, and I'd rather not bore them with some very specific niche.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do jokes and try to get like the broadest amount of people liking them.
Yeah. When do you think you started getting into metal?
A lot earlier than I started getting into comedy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
First started getting into metal like around middle school. Well, first like I had to work myself up to it. Linkin Park basically was like that. You know, people can say what they want about their music. Their later albums suck. They're bad. But you know what? They were a great gateway band.
When you say later, do you mean like I remember I never really honestly I'm super fucking critical of anything having to do with art. I never liked Linkin Park. I remember the first I heard of them was like One Step Closer. But what is that? Do you consider that like a later album?
No, that's their first album.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, their best material is stuff that you hate, Phil.
Okay.
So way to shit on my childhood musical tastes.
I'm sorry.
Are you? Chester died for us. Rest in peace, Chester.
Yeah,
Maybe we should like use some like After Effects and put like the suicide hotline number 2, you know, just in case.
just in case, yeah. If you get put on hold, I'm sorry. But
Anyway, so yeah, I got introduced to metal at a young age, listening to bands like Linkin Park and
what do you think like 8th grade?
yeah, absolutely 8th grade. That was around time I started really getting into it. And then I wanted heavier shit. Then I started listening to like some of the early metalcore bands of the 2000s, like Trivium, Lamb of God, even though they're not really metalcore, groove metal. But yeah, they're just adjacent.
Yeah.
Killswitch Engage. And then eventually that segued into, you know, death metal and then me justifying why I like listening to black metal, even though there's a great deal of them who might be Nazis.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
There's a lot of Nazis in black metal.
And you know, it's easy to be a Nazi when you live in a country that's predominantly white. I always mention that. Like I think it's hilarious when like Varg. I still like Burzum, but for those of you who don't know, it's like most controversial black metal artist, but I love when people say like, oh, he's still got these great videos, about, him in the woods living with his family. I'm like, I think he should try surviving in Inglewood and having these videos, that would be great. Wearing like trying to live through the battlegrounds of O Block, wearing all these fucking spikes and shit.
I mean, there's videos of him training where he does all those like stupid ass martial art kicks and all that.
It's worse bullshit than like Steven Seagal, the martial arts he does. But I do find him. I like him because he's so fucking quirky. Like there's some shit he does that he just doesn't take himself seriously with. And
you mean like riding a D&D game?
Yeah. And there's a video where he's just dressed in complete military gear, riding around one of those mini Barbie scooters, and just going off ramps on them. I'm just like, but actually that's part of it.
Like, oh, isn't that so cute? Oh, it makes me forget that he killed someone.
Yeah,
stabbed him like over 50 fucking times.
Yeah. I personally, so I got obvious. I mean, I'm guessing like every metalhead story, you sort of get into metal because you're coping with either bullies or a fucked up life, or it's a coping mechanism. I remember the first, I guess you could say, hard rock album I got. So my aunt was one of these people who she's gonna do whatever. She's kind of like the Barbie stereotype, just like this sort of idiotic person who just follows what's popular. And so growing up, she would buy whatever the fuck was on the top of the billboards. It'd be like, this week I like have you listened to new Seal album, Kiss from a Rose? Next week it's I like The Cure. Next week it's I like AC/DC. So I stole from her the Guns N' Roses albums from her, and that was the first like hard rock. But then I listened to, coming from a single mom family, I looked up to Arnold a lot. I was like, please, Mom, marry the Terminator, which I was actually trying to, like, I'm still working on a bit about the Terminator, about how much I wanted him to be my dad, because how completely stoic and emotionless he is. It's pretty much like any Polish dad.
And he basically was a dad in Terminator 2.
Yeah. And I got into Megadeth at that point, which by fucking complete luck, I ended up buying their best, and in my opinion, their only good album, Rust in Peace.
Yeah, that is the best album by far. They have other good ones too, but talking about Dave Mustaine's making me cough over here. Ugh. Talking about Megadeth. So you got into Megadeth through Rust in Peace.
Yeah. Actually, quick thing, the reason why I got into Megadeth was because of being an Arnold fan, and they had that Angry Again in Last Action Hero.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a fucking great song. Like, mostly I find that like soundtrack songs are like sort of like, all right, you need us to write a song for your fucking movie. Like, here, like, I'll just jag this stupid song off right on you,
Yeah.
And it's a really good song. But yeah, so I got into Megadeth. I went to a fucking used like disc replay, and they had a shit ton of copies of Rust in Peace, because that's probably like their biggest selling album. I still fucking love. And funny story. So, are you familiar with Rolling Stones Records?
Yeah.
The record store.
Oh, they had a record store?
No, like yeah, like on Harlem and Irving, the record store over there.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so that's the neighborhood that I grew up in, and it's, for people who don't know, it's basically like a DIY, really successful, like Virgin record store or some shit. It was just a record store that it was in my neighborhood, and it's honestly depressing, because growing up there, every fucking month, somebody that I loved meet and greet there, signature, like half the people that I met that were famous, I met there growing up as a kid. And funny story is, I met Dave Mustaine there, and he is an alcoholic piece of shit. He's such a piece of shit.
I've heard that he was an asshole.
Yeah, it made me laugh my ass off, because he was recently on Rogan, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait for that Dave Mustaine moment. Like, he's gonna pull off this whole, Like, I'm really chill now. I've changed. I'm over being kicked out of Metallica fucking 100 years ago. And he had his Dave Mustaine moment because he had these, like, they were talking about martial arts, and I think like they kept like bringing up these little tedious like facts, and then he's like, all right, Jamie, look this up. And Dave's like, so what are we gonna do? What is this, debunk Dave Day? And I'm like, yep, that Dave Mustaine came out. And I remember, so what was funny is he did a meet and greet there. I was about 14 years old, and it was when, do you remember Capital Punishment?
Yeah, that was like early 2000s. That was after The World Needs a Hero.
Yeah.
I
So
remember I had a T-shirt of that album cover. That's the one where Vic Rattlehead is judging like Hillary and Bill Clinton or something like that. He's got like a book in front of him.
yeah. And it was basically like their best of shit. It was like a greatest hits album for
Oh,
Megadeth.
it was the greatest hits.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I thinking of then? Oh, different album. Whatever.
Yeah, no. The album that I had, the cover was like real, like two basic colors. I think.
Okay.
It was like green and gold or something on the cover. It was like a best of album, and I remember, like, I've met people there before. I could tell you two funny stories there. I met Slipknot there first, and dude, Slipknot had just got, like, they were just about to explode with their fucking self-titled. And the funniest thing was, I normally would show up like an hour before to meet them. The funny thing about Slipknot was, remember when they first, well, I mean, even to this day, they kind of would change the colors of their jumpsuits for each show.
Yeah.
And since they're from Iowa, well, what did they do that day? That they just drove from Iowa in a rent white van, and that day they decided to wear orange jumpsuits. So they were 4 hours late because they got pulled over thinking they're prisoner escapees. And I fucking waited as long as I could, and they were so like sorrowful for being late that, dude, they did anything you wanted, as many autographs as you want, as many pictures. I think I didn't bring a camera, but they had fucking clowns sitting on kids' shoulders, if you want. Like, they did everything they could to make up for being late. Coolest fucking band that I could have ever met there. Dave, polar opposite, because you said it came out like 2000, so I would have been in like 8th grade, 14 years old. And I go there and I'm like, well, my favorite album, my first CD that I've ever owned with my own allowance was Rust in Peace. I'm going to try and get that signed. Dave had these strict rules. He's like, you only get an autograph if you buy the Capital Punishment record, and no pictures. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll just buy a Capital Punishment CD, and then I'll fucking try and get both signed. And I remember, to a 14-year-old, he just looked at me, and then he like whittles his finger like for me to come close to him, and he whispers, he goes, yo, listen, I got advice for you, kid. Next time, follow the fucking rules. And that was the first time I realized, like, yeah, your idols may be pieces of shit,
Well, he only just wanted to sign the Capital Punishment.
Yeah, he only wanted to sign that. I think he ended up signing, you know what? He ended up signing, he didn't want to sign Rust in Peace, so he signed, I got Cryptic Writings up there all the way at the top, right?
Okay.
In that thing. But, and I met Static X there as well before Wayne Static died. Static X was cool, but, he was a piece of shit. That was the first metal thing that I got into. And then I had, weirdly, I bought a bootleg, like, where they used to sell those fake, like, tape cassettes at concerts. I bought a Ballads album of Metallica, which I liked either way. But
Ballads album?
Yeah, it was just what whoever the fuck mixed the tape considered ballads.
So basically, like, Fade to Black, One.
Yeah, Unforgiven, Nothing Else Matters.
Maybe Sanitarium.
Yeah,
count that.
Yeah, that was on there.
And Nothing Else Matters. Basically, like, probably the first track was probably like Nothing Else Matters, and the last track was probably Nothing Else Matters.
Yeah. And the funny thing, I did get into black metal at a really early age, because do you remember those 600-minute reading programs?
No.
Do you remember? So, like, when I was in fucking grammar school, they had, like, you had to, if you read 600 minutes and your parents signed off, like they kept track of you, you got a free ticket to Six Flags.
Oh my god, yes, I do remember that shit. Yes, they made us do that too. Oh, that was so fucking dumb.
Yeah, and I hated reading shit. I was actually gonna work on a bit about this when they. I remember growing up like this young Polak. I was like fascinated by like this greaser American gang type life. So I remember when we had to read The Outsiders for school, I was like, "Oh man, this is going to be really cool," because I saw Grease. I'm like, "This isn't fucking gangs. They don't nobody starts snapping their fingers and singing before they're about to shank you." So I was ready to read Outsiders, and again I was disappointed because then we watched the movie in class, and I was going to riff about this. How, dude, have you ever noticed like Outsiders? Every fucking like 20 minutes, a grown man is crying in that movie. Every 20 minutes. It's like, God damn, I really hated Daly when he beats up on you 2-bit. It's like, I know, I hate it too. 20 minutes later, I don't mean to hit you, but it's just what Dad used to do us. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like every 20 minutes. I'm like, this is not what gangs do. So, where was I? I forgot where the fuck I was going with this.
You must some of black metal?
Oh, so my mom took me to a Borders and Barnes. Yeah, because like you know those typical books you had to read for school. Outsiders, maybe like Night by Eli Wiesel, or
I mean, they're both very good books, but the main appeal to them is they're short.
yeah, and also like they won all these awards. Like I remember at that time I was extra jaded because we had to read fucking Tuesdays with Morrie, which from what I remember was just like this kid visiting this dying boomer, and this boomer just being like, well, you know why I'm in horrible shape? Because back in my day, this, and this. And I was like, yeah. So my mom took me to this bookstore, and she's like, all right, you're going to do this 600 minutes. What do you want to read? And at that time was right when Lords of Chaos came out. I just saw this burning church on the cover. I'm like, I'm going to read that shit. And I ended up reading that at like 14 years old. And that's what got me into black metal. And where I was segueing with this, which was funny, was that I remember going into the store. Immortal came out with an album. That was they're my first black metal band that I got into, and still probably one of my favorite because I love Abath. I love that he doesn't take himself seriously. I love recently that he's kind of like, yo, we're not these coked out Nazis from Norway. We know how to goof around. And when I say vulnerable, he kind of came to the public like, yo, I got a fucking drinking problem. I'm ashamed of it, you know?
Well, Immortal was probably like the least problematic Norwegian black metal band.
Yeah.
Like, even bands like Emperor, like, like Ishan wasn't really like a neo-Nazi or anything like that. Well, their drummer still killed someone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like Immortal definitely was like one of those anomalies that they didn't even like talk about Satan or anything like that. They talked about winter and shit like that. Like Arctic, the Arctic
Blashkrieg.
That's a Blashkrieg.
Yeah,
that type of shit.
Yeah, but the thing that I remember to this day that made me laugh my ass off was for all the non-old fucks that are listening to this that aren't like us. Back then, there was no internet, so you only got to you got into bands by what you heard by word of mouth or that you saw at the top 10 listening station at your record store,
or sometimes whatever had the coolest cover.
Yeah. And I ended up listening to Immortal one day. I'm like, oh, that's fucking amazing. I'm going back to that store next week to get it, and it was gone. So by accident, I looked at covers. I'm like, what? All these black metal bands, they just paint each other up, right? And I ended up by accident buying Kiss and a Kiss album, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I hate Kiss so much. It was like the Coco Melon Barney of anything close to even being called metal. I hate Kiss so much. I could never get into that shit. But I remember I bought it 1 week and I had to return it right away. I was like, this is so fucking horrible. But yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see what you mean by that. That was like the huge thing with Kiss. I feel like Ghost is similar to that, where it's a band that has an image that totally conflicts with what their music really is.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of Kiss, like in the beginning, like, oh, it makes it seem like that they're like sinister with the makeup, and they're like, you know, and Gene Simmons, he's a demon incarnate or some shit like that. But no, it's just arena rock.
Yeah.
It's not evil. It's not even like Black Sabbath. It's just arena rock, where you can play at bars, and people sometimes feel similar ways with Ghost in the fact that, yeah, they have like a satanic church type thing. You got like a Luciferian priest as the frontman, but they write pop-inspired metal tunes.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love Ghost. They're one of my favorite bands.
You love Ghost. I couldn't get into them.
That's fair.
It wasn't like I hated on them. It was just like I'm neutral with them, But yeah, it was like Kiss to me was like, you know what it reminds me of? I remember being a young kid, being made fun of for being a metalhead, being called gay every fucking day for painting my nails black and being into because at the time I was like in the Cold Chamber and fucking, the new metal wave. And to me, what Kiss reminds me of is like me listening to like Metallica way early on, and now like 15 years later, I have like these friends who used to fucking like mess with me, and they're like, dude, I listen to Metallica every day when I lift now. I'm like, that's Kisses for you, like.
Right.
And I just talk about like being problematic. I don't know if we were talking about that before, but like, I can't believe Gene Simmons hasn't got a novel list of women he's assaulted. Like, I'm just waiting for that to fucking come out,
I've heard more stories how he was such a gigantic jagoff.
Yeah. But
I don't know if he's had to address any allegations.
Mm-hmm.
That won't surprise me. I mean, the reality is like a lot of those like classic rock guys from like the 70s or early heavy metal guys are super fucking problematic nowadays. Like, look, I love David Bowie. I absolutely love the shit out of his music. But
the statutory rape.
Yeah, the things with the underage girls.
Yeah.
And I get like in the 70s, like back then, it wasn't really seen as that much of a problem, but that still doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
And also Led Zeppelin. I mean, Jimmy Page abducted a girl, basically. And yeah, it's pretty fucking weird.
It is weird. I got into it. You know what I've come to the conclusion of, like, because I know it's cheesy with the whole name Phil's Osophy. I sort of like blend my beliefs of Taoism, Stoicism, and sort of what makes me happy in my life, and what I've come to the conclusion of, like, cancel culture, whatever you want to fucking call it. I feel like everybody has their boundary lines, and they're going to set it where they want, because at the end of the day, everyone is a hypocrite if you live by extremes. Like, oh, you do this, but you don't do this. And I got in an argument with one of my friends about this because I think I saw the movie Joker, and I really loved the fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I think it was done unbelievably well. I've got mental illness in my family, and a lot of it hit at home, And he went on this rant online about how, like, the director was like, oh, the woke fucking mob is going to go after us. And I'm like, well, he's not wrong, number one. And number two, I'm like, you're a huge fan of David Bowie. Oh, and I wasn't talking about the underage girls. He actually had a statutory rape charge with a boy that was like 15.
Well, I didn't know, but it's there apparently.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was just talking about was there's also a lot of, like, being in the psych rock scene. There are a lot of, like, these fucking, like, we all know now that this, like, boomer hippie scene, they're all about peace and love and all this shit, but there's so much shit that they were so full of shit. There's so many things that they were not into peace and love. And specifically with, like, the same friend of mine loved Velvet Underground, and a lot of people would love Nico. You know Velvet Underground?
Yeah.
A lot of people love Nico because they're like, oh, she's so empowering for women. She was actually a Nazi. She was from Germany. She fucking they had stories where she had, like, outrage where black people would dine in restaurants that she would go to, and she was like this super known model. So she would go to these restaurants where it's like it's supposed to be, in her opinion, whites only, you know. And it's like, so that's just the conclusion I came to. It's about where you personally draw your boundary lines, you know.
Yeah, and also like there is such a thing as separating the art from the artist, but that really depends on like how one person feels about a certain subject over another.
Yeah.
It's like I listen to some pretty problematic music, at least to what some people would consider, because I listen to black metal. And
Who are some that you listen to, or do you not want to share that?
I could share that. I mean, if we're talking like just black metal, because that just helps narrow it down.
Yeah.
I mean, Rotting Christ, Emperor, Immortal, those are amongst my favorites.
But who do you think you listen to that you'd say is like problematic that you sort of like try to look past?
Nocturnal Mortem.
Oh, okay.
Nocturnal Mortem by a long shot, and also Druk, both Ukrainian black metal bands. But Nocturnal Mortem, they were very upfront about being a National Socialist black metal band.
Yeah.
And how I stumbled into the music was, it's not because I was looking for stuff, it's because I saw it was like a list of like top black metal albums, and I'm always on the prowl. And they had the album Voice of Steel at like in the top 10. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta check this out. The album's fucking amazing. Like easily one of the best folk influenced black metal albums ever. Like the production, like the influences, the progressive instrumentation and arrangement, it's fantastic. One of the best releases. But there's that thing that these guys were very vocal in their National Socialist beliefs, even talking about in their lyrics. Not like you could really understand because it's all Ukrainian anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the band did announce that they're no longer Nazis and they're distancing themselves from their beliefs, but meanwhile they still perform in Nazi black metal fests. But go figure on that one.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I've noticed, once again, just my personal like beliefs is that, so what I noticed is like part of the reason why I get so cringed out by whether it's any type of art having to do with politics, because to me, you know, I guess I could tell you I'll make a long story short. When I was in the psych rock scene, I was part of this really fucking, it was exciting for me because I was part of this, like, I don't know how to explain, like this art like collective, because what happened is I was very much in this band Brian Jonestown Massacre, and when I got into them, which for anybody who wonders what they're like, they're basically, they're very Beatles-like. A lot of their music is Beatles, but I like them better than Beatles because to me Beatles was very, it sounds like sing-along kids songs. I never liked Beatles, but what happened in my situation was around 2012 is when I got into them, and I was part of this chat. The singer of Brian Jonestown Massacre moved to Germany or England, and what he would do is, I guess it would kind of like what Discord is now. There was this platform called Ustream. Every single night he would go on there and just DJ new bands, new material that's on his label, and just share it with people. And it was so fucking cool because it was like, I met so many people on there. It was like, there's this chick Ola who runs a 60s vinyl DJ radio station in England. And then there's this guy Rishi who plays exotic instruments from fucking, it's called an azura, which is it's the flute that gets the snakes dancing out of the basket.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. And then like he like specialized in exotic instruments. He knew like what sitar you should buy, how do you know if it's authentic? How do you know if it's like in good condition? And then there's this guy in Texas who writes folk music, and it was just this cool collective, and it was exciting because I'm like, nobody knows about this shit. And then eventually I went to now it's called Levitation. It used to be called Austin Psych Fest. It's run in Texas. Austin Psych Fest got bankrupt by the Texas tornado, and then they just had to go bankrupt and rename it. It's run by this band called Black Angels, and
I've actually heard of them.
yeah.
I've listened to some stuff. I like it.
There's a lot of in that whole psych scene. It's either shit like there's three like main influences. It's like 90s alternative, almost like an American version of Oasis, shoegaze, and then garage rock. So there'd be like My Bloody Valentine played, I think, in Psych Fest. Then there's like the OCs or King Gizzard plays there.
I would say King Gizzard right now is probably like the absolute kings of the psych rock movement.
Yeah, they're amazing. Absolutely.
I mean, they released like 20 albums in 1 year.
Yeah. And so what I was where I was concluding the story is like what really made me sad was all these people who have all this artistic potential, because I always put art first. I was always an artsy fucking guy. I don't know if that's weird for people who don't know me and judge by, book by its cover, but it made me so sad when the moment, like, I'm not blaming Obama, but something gets that pendulum swinging. And I was like writing a bit about how I think it's funny that the FBI released that UFOs are real, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, we kind of knew they were always real. And then, but like, we're not ready for a black president. So we're ready for some X-Files shit to happen, but we're still not ready for a black president. And that started that pendulum swinging to where then Trump got elected. And suddenly all these people who are like really amazing artists, really into collecting the best vinyl, having great exotic instruments, and just all this shit, every single post is like political now. So where it goes into what I was talking about with bands, what I found, any bands, whether they're Nazi fucking black metal heads or even like super just the other side, like super left political bands, I feel like the more energy you put into politics in your art, it takes out of your regular energy. You get what I'm saying? Like I've always found like the funny thing to me was like the most I would always like, obviously in secret, I'd be like, all right, these guys consider themselves Nazis. If I don't know that fact, how do they sound? And usually the most Nazi bands are pretty fucking shitty, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, if they're like totally like very blatant, like they're not really so much a band as so much as they're just a bunch of Nazis who decide to like, hey, let's just make some music and make this shit more legitimate.
Yeah.
Like they almost make the art to justify their hatred.
Yeah.
Like, there's one thing that kind of like baffles me, because I don't know why, but like this type of like Nazism in music, like it's fascinating. I hate it, but it's like it's interesting that it exists. I remember like I was watching this Vice documentary about this like neo-Nazi music festival.
I seen that
Ukraine.
one, yeah.
And spoiler alert, they're all black metal bands.
Yeah.
All of them are black metal bands.
Yeah.
Like, really? Not even like a folk punk band in the mix? No, it's all black metal bands.
Yeah.
And you know how like people who have like children, and it's like, oh yeah, my son's a musician and all that. He's really talented, really focused. Like, what do those parents have to say about their children? Yeah, I'm really proud of my son. He's a drummer. He's in a band. What kind of band? No, he's in a band. He's plays a certain festival. What kind of music does he play? Oh, he plays music. He sounds pop. No, they got taken off Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah, but the flip side of the coin of an example of like a political band, like I used to love Rage Against the Machine. Yeah. They're the first group. So what's funny? I mean, this is kind of like, I guess how lazy I was when I played guitar was. I would when I was, because I had a friend that was real competitive with me, we would be like, so what song did you learn this week on guitar, like with tabs and stuff? And oftentimes I would like learn like the verse, the chorus, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's good enough to show off, like whatever. Like I fucking love like Stone Temple Pilots, so I would learn like the first 1 minute of a song and be like, yeah, I know this whole song, and then I didn't really know it. So then I was like, all right, I got to sit the fuck down, kind of like with comedy. It's like, all right, I got to sit the fuck down and work on my material. I'm like, I got to learn one album all the way through, every single part on guitar. And that first album was Rage Against the Machine's self-titled. I can still, it's like imprinted in my memory. I could play that all the way through, whether bass or guitar, which a lot of them are the same because it's like one string things. But even the band like that, I was like, it gets old where everything is about politics. That's just me.
Well,
And
I get that's what they're about. Also, with Rage Against the Machine, I feel like they're a little bit hypocritical.
Absolutely.
Because they are the machine at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. They're one of those people like Dave Mustaine where my idols, when I got to read about, I don't know, I know these little stupid fucking facts, but did you know like Tom Morello's history?
I know that he was an activist and political science major, and he took lessons from Joe Satriani. That's all I really know.
Okay, so what made me really hate on them? So number one, I don't know if you have you played instruments?
I play guitar.
Okay. I don't know if you ever played Rage Against the Machine, but Tom would always talk about how he's obsessed. His favorite band was Led Zeppelin. There's like at least 5 songs I could name off the top of my head that are exactly the same riffs in Rage that are Led Zeppelin. You play like Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Basically, Bulls on Parade.
Exactly. Or what I always get mixed Whole Lotta Love or Black Dog compared to Freedom by, it's just like, it's sort of funny because like it's that karma, right? Because Jimmy Page copied black artists, and then Tom Morello copies Jimmy Page. Like in a political band.
In a sense, yeah, it kind of comes full circle.
But the other thing that drove me nuts was like I read about Tom Morello's history, and yeah, the reason why he went to Harvard was because both his parents. The reason why he got out of Harvard and got into the punk scene and became a male stripper in San Francisco was because his parents were lobbyists in D.C. One of his parents, I forgot which one was which, was a huge Democrat. The other one was a huge Republican. And he was like, how the fuck do you guys have a relationship? And they literally explained it to him. They're like, listen, we're pulling all the strings. This is 100% about money. All politicians are 100% the same. You have zero control over votes. You have zero control over. This is just, how can we keep, it's a huge yin and yang. How can we keep the mass population completely happy by, all right, you want abortion rights? Well, then, you know what? We're going to have to like build a wall so Mexicans don't come in, as to put it bluntly. And I'm like, okay, so if you know that this whole political system is bullshit, you start a band that rants about it being bullshit, like it's bullshit and you're going to rant about it, self-knowing that you're a puppet, it's just...
Well, also, too, like, I don't really care for Tom's political beliefs of trying his anarcho-communist views, mainly because I just do not believe in communism one way or another, and definitely don't have much opinions regarding anarchy.
Yeah.
I feel like those are just two things that never worked in any practical sense. So yeah, I just don't really believe in it.
Yeah. But yeah, back to like the whole black metal thing. I know we talked about before about the whole Take issue.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, this is the first sign that I even really paid attention to that I was like, this is like, well, where it got me personal. I got pissed off because Take is a band. I don't know. You want me to explain it in my words or like...
They're a black metal band, so therefore they're problematic as fuck.
I feel a little bit differently. Only because I know that... So from what I tried to look into it, what happened to me was I bought fucking... They're the first band that I got into that I was like, I like every single song. Because, in my opinion, any fucking bands like pre-2000s, because record labels kind of fueled them, it was like, all right, we're going to write an album with 3 good songs, and the rest is just filler. Take was one of the first black metal bands where I was like, I could listen to this album all the way through, so I like them a lot. And then I'm like, oh, they're coming to town. I didn't know shit about... By the way, I don't know anything that black... When I listen to black metal, they could be singing about how they burnt their fucking hand making a skillet and not wearing an oven mitt. I
personally don't pay attention to the lyrics in black metal because, for one, it's not crucial, and two, it's not like there's really... It's not like that you're going to find some like real provocative lyrics in there.
Yeah.
It's all just to accompany the music. That's
Yeah.
really what it is.
It is, and I actually like it when it's that simpler, you know, because sometimes you'll have a good song and the lyrics are just horse shit, you know, from another genre. But anyways, so what happened with Take is they were gonna play Reggie's Rock Club. Turns out this was like when Antifa was really like trying to spread their wings and be like, yo, we're not gonna put up with this shit. So they canceled this show because Take, host, I believe is his name, from Take, 10 years ago, played a show in Germany and painted a swastika on his stomach, which this is my opinion. And it's exactly, I mean, first of all, I mentioned to you before that in high school, I was part of the non-racist skinhead scene. So I knew people, like I knew a kid, I'm going all over the place now, but I knew a fucking kid who unfortunately, he went to prison, and the only way he could fucking survive was either he's going to be everybody's cum dumpster ass butthole, or he's got to join some kind of gang. He went into that prison being like a NoFX, you know, casualties punk with neon colored hair, and when he came out, everything, SS bolts, Odin's hammer, fucking, now he's listening to nothing but absurd, you know, and it's just like, I was like, dude, what the fuck, like, what happened to you, you know? And a lot of it, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is this quickness to call some people Nazis, to me, I just don't believe that. That's just my own opinion. I can't fucking go fishing one day and call myself a fisherman, is what I say. And what happened with Take, in the way I perceived it, it's kind of like when Marilyn Manson wiped his ass on an American flag. He's like, this is the worst like thing to shit on America, to troll them, and this is, you know, it's illegal to do that. So he did that. And Take, I don't know if you know, in Germany, I know this from being from Poland and having family there and visiting many times. The way I would explain it is the biggest thing with Americans, I'm just going to be blunt, there's a lot of disrespect.
I can see that.
When you go to, here's the difference between when you go to a museum in America. I mean, you go to fucking any Chicago zoo, aquarium, museum, there's fucking gangbangers etching their tags into the windows with their diamond rings, you know? You go to fucking Europe, if you're found any way desecrating, like they don't even have windows. Things are usually out in the open because they trust that people have that respect for it. You do anything there, you get charged. You go to fucking prison if you fuck up historical artifacts. And so in Germany, because of how ashamed they are of their Nazi past, you go to fucking jail for having any swastika.
Yes, it's a criminal offense.
And so Take doing that was, to me, like trolling the German government, trolling establishment, because they even mentioned the very next day they had a sold out show in Israel, and you look at the crowd, there's Hasidic Jews in there, you know. That's the way I looked at it. But I also think that this was Antifa's way of like, these guys were going to set this as an example. And I know you mentioned before they have many songs where they're just shitting on Islam, you know.
Yes, there's also some Islamophobia that's tied in with Take.
Yeah.
Also, they made merch that was seen as Islamophobic too. So it's like, does that mean that the problem with like Islamophobia is like people will try to like frame it like, oh, they're criticizing religion, not the people. It's like, yeah, but sometimes like when people do that, it usually extends to criticizing the people too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just...
I kind of always feel like that's the definition of black metal, is shitting on all religions, and that's
Right.
the only reason why I have, I guess, a more lenient level of understanding for their actions, where they're just, because one of my beliefs, I think the Abrahamic religions. Do you know what the concept of dualism is? Like Western dualism?
No.
I believe Western dualism is basically about how the Abrahamic religions, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and its 31 flavors, all very negatively affected all of basically Europe and the Americas. The way
I can
that
see that.
because I really went into this when I was getting into Taoism and trying to sort of like have a better outlook on life, talking about how there was this. It's a long story about this priest. He didn't understand how come you get all these hooligans in summer school. Why don't they ever like look to religion? And it's because these Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Islam, Christianity, it's always about, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. You're fucking melting. Like it's always these black and white extremes. And when he visited China, Japan, Thailand, he was like, there's literally, like, when you go to class here, especially, I mean, we're talking about 20, 30 years ago, when you go to religious classes here, if you don't believe in God, you're getting the fucking paddle. And he would go to like these places where Hinduism reigns, where Buddhism reigns, where Taoism reigns, and they literally have classes where they sit children down at like fucking 5 years old, and they're like, so here's this girl, her grandmother was starving, she has varicose veins, so she stole bread from the market. Let's philosophize. Like, let's sit down, let's rub our chins. Is this right or wrong? And there's 100 different things of possibility. There's going to be the person who's like, we live by the law 100%, so it was wrong. Then there's a person like, well, this morally, this is okay, you know? And here it's everything was black or white because of dualism. And so I think that's kind of like, I mean, I think that's why what's funny is Poland has a shit ton of black metal and extreme metal. And it's funny because did you know they're the biggest like Catholic fucking country still around?
Yeah,
where blasphemy is like a felony still, you know?
I mean, that's why like Nurgle from Behemoth has encountered so many legal troubles because of his satanic beliefs.
Yeah. And I mention that because that's also why there's so much of the swing of the pendulum hate for Catholicism in Poland and where these metal bands stem from. Did you ever, the whole like Gorgoroth story with Poland and everything?
The Krakow Black Mass.
Yeah.
Where they did that concert with the naked women on the crosses, the sheep's head.
Yeah.
And then they all got arrested. And didn't they get banned from Poland too?
Yeah, and it took them, I think they filmed it in like 2006 and they couldn't release it for 7 years because there was the ongoing trial.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the type of shit, but I mean, that's just, like I said, that's just the way I view it. It's a shitting on religion, and to be honest, I just like black metal as an art. I can't take it seriously. I just take it as an art. The whole religion thing, it was fuel for my rebellious 8th grade ass as much as Rage Against the Machine was,
Right. To basically sum up like how I feel about listening to like problematic music such as black metal, and look, not all black metal is problematic, but it just so happens that some of the more pronounced bands in the scene have some sketchy things associated with them.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the music for what it is. Do I necessarily like these people as individuals? Not necessarily. I mean, Varg Vikernes as a person, I just don't like. Mm-hmm. I just don't like him as a person. I just think not only is he a Nazi and a murderer, but I also think he's self-aggrandizing, pretentious, and thinks he's a lot more important than he really is.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
And there's a reason why he's hiding in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. But if people are going to like judge anyone for listening to black metal, I mean, people still listen to R. Kelly.
Yeah. People still listen to Kanye.
People still listen to David Bowie and Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's like, music is music. Regardless of who the people made it, it just is.
Yeah. I eventually, just judging these situations, I came to the conclusion of I was defending Take so much, but eventually I just like sat the fuck down and I was like, wait a minute. Would I do that? No. I've been in bands for so much. I would never see a reason for me to paint a swastika on my, that's fucking stupid. Obviously the guy's desperate for attention, but it's it's good workout music. You know, it's good to ride my bike through the woods at night while blasting that shit. Well, like I'm a witch on a broom.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is. As far as other, I mean, what I think is funny too is like how we were talking about like the whole poser thing. Is I think it's fucking hilarious when people get so upset at like what genres you listen to. Like I was just talking to there's a fellow comedian that's also a metalhead, and he's like, I was telling him, I'm like, man, lately I've been listening to like Kublai Khan, Body Snatcher, Pale Face,
It's good stuff.
and I love it. And he's just like, fuck that shit, those motivational guys. Like, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with loving your life.
Sometimes I like the motivational stuff.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll listen to Hatebreed just because the lyrics actually mean something.
yeah,
It's like just be who you are, do what's best, and then just persevere. That's basically what those songs are about.
Yeah.
And you know what? In my old age of 31, I appreciate that stuff more and more.
yeah. It's like I was saying when I was like learning guitar, my musical taste evolved on basically what I thought was fucking awesome to play on guitar. And like I went from like, so I started off at like Megadeth, learned a little bit of riffs because they obviously it's fucking like really hard. Then
Especially the solos.
yeah, I never learned to Megadeth, so and then I was like, all right, move on to Rage Against the Machine because new metal's easy as fuck. It's basically all hammer-ons, most of it.
Hammer is it's a guitar technique to anyone who's not in the know.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically instead of making a chord, you're just pressing your whole finger on an entire fret. And then from there I just discovered like I guess what's called like math metal. I fucking from the start I loved Every Time I Die.
Great band.
I loved
It's a shame they broke up.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't know if you remember like Blood Brothers.
Yeah, I do remember Blood Brothers.
Yeah.
Liked them too. Not as much as other bands that were coming out like Dillinger Escape Plan, but Blood Brothers definitely were very good too.
Yeah.
Poison the Well.
Oh, I loved Poison the Well, yeah. What the fuck else? Do you remember Daughters?
Daughters. Oh God, that's disappointing regarding Alexis Marshall.
I don't even know what the story is with that.
Oh, are you familiar with Lingua Ignota?
No.
All right, Lingua Ignota is a artist who does industrial, like black and classical music.
Yeah.
Basically, what she does is she has like these classical arrangements, mainly like piano, and she integrates like death growls into it and industrial influences. Some of it's pretty cool. It's not really 100% my thing. The classical parts are a little boring, but that's just me. Anyway, but she was in a relationship with the vocalist of Daughters, and she came out and talked about that this dude apparently was a very abusive piece of shit.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and this was right after they came back and did their best album, You Can't Always Get What You Want, or whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever the album is. The one with the skull on it. It is their best album. It's fantastic, but man, like from those accounts, presuming that that's 100% true, and I have no reason to doubt it.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit, and the band broke up again because of that.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like I sort of listen to their like it's the funny thing. Same thing happened with Every Time I Die, where I sort of like there was a point where I stopped checking out newer stuff, but I still love them, and I didn't know anything afterwards. I didn't.
Yeah. So did you know that their guitar player is a wrestler?
Yeah, yeah. I found that out. I found that out when. So the funny thing was, I had that same place that I worked at I worked at this logistics center where these two other fucking comedians worked there, and I would just rant on shit during fucking where the guy told me he's like, "Oh, Joey Diaz is comedy. You should fucking do comedy." So it's kind of funny because I went to lunch one day and I see this guy. He literally looked like very similar to like if Kendrick Lamar had a kid with like Sammy Davis Jr. He had like Kendrick.
That's okay.
And he has this Christmas sweater that says "Every Time I Die." And I go up there, I'm just like, holy fuck, I didn't know you would listen Every Time I Die. in a very ignorant white way. He's just like, well, what do you listen? Well, I didn't know you people listen to Tyler the Creator, and we just instantly became friends. And like and he was like, I'm like, how the fuck did you get in Every Time I Die? Because he was like maybe like 6 years younger than me. He didn't get in Every Time I Die at the moment where I stopped listening. I think the last album that I listened to a lot was The Big Dirty, and after that it was like, I think like Low Teens or some shit.
Yeah, but they're honestly, their 2000 stuff is good,
Yeah.
but I prefer the late 2010 stuff. Like, they were a band that just actually got heavier and heavier with each release, and they got better.
Yeah.
Low Teens, I think, is their best album.
And my favorite was always either Big Dirty or Hot Damn.
Hot Damn was the big one, yeah.
But I just like, I don't care what anybody, like, I didn't even know they were screamo, because that's just how unbiased I was. But coming from a guitarist, I was like, those fucking riffs were like something I never heard of. The way they fucking played, it was awesome.
Right.
And
they had that Southern rock personality to it as well.
yeah. And then but yeah, you know another point I was saying about like the whole problematic black metal thing is like, the way I looked at it was like, why the fuck are there all these bands constantly, like, at this point, if you're making songs about the Holocaust, it's like low-hanging fruit. Like,
Right.
how many fucking songs can you write about the Holocaust, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? If I had 2 family members that were Holocaust survivors, and I'm thinking to myself, well, would I rather have a black metal band painting a picture? Like, to me, to this, even though it's not black metal, but to me, the best, you know, art is supposed to take you to a certain feeling, emotion, and that spot. To this day, Angel of Death by Slayer is like the best portrayal of what was going on at the Holocaust. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was a survivor like my family members, would I want Slayer or whoever the fuck writing how devastating it was, or would I rather have fucking Phoebe Bridgers writing an acoustic folk song about it? You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like devastating sound goes hand in hand with the material, and you know?
Right. And also, too, is like, Slayer's intention was clear that they're not trying to glorify Joseph Mengele, who was the angel of death.
Yeah.
It's just talking about the person in general and the horrors that he committed.
Yeah. And you know, it's crazy that when my dad died, like, I didn't have a good relationship with him because he was a fucking asshole, but he was obsessed with jewelry. I tell this to a lot of people, but he so he just did jewelry as a hobby as well. And what's fucking hilarious is when you have, over the years, I would have random fucking Nazi memorabilia from World War II, just from family members and shit. And I'm like, I don't really want this stuff. But you know, the problem is, you either got to donate it to a museum, or the only person you're going to sell it to is probably a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty unique dilemma.
Yeah. And so what he did that I thought was badass that I never found out, there's a way to test metal to see like how old it is. What he used to do is he'd buy aged silver and like metals from like the 30s, and he would just counterfeit it and sell that to fucking Nazis and rip them off. So it's kind of, thought it was kind of funny.
Nice.
But
that I do applaud.
yeah.
Fuck the Nazis.
Yeah. I fucking so where do we go from here? Where do we what else, anything else about metal you want to talk, like?
I mean, we already talked about Nazis. I feel like we can't really talk about much once you mention the Nazis.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like once you get to that point where you start like talking about the Third Reich, then like everything else about it becomes less interesting. So I guess we'll talk about stoner doom metal then.
Yeah, no. I mean,
they smell like bong water. They're problematic.
Do you like stoner metal as well?
I mean, it depends on the band.
Oh, you know what we talk about? How much you're busted my balls how much I love Gummo.
I fucking hate that movie. It's such an ass dragger of a movie.
I rewatched it recently, and I completely understand where you're coming from. But I did love it.
So boring.
I loved it for a very long time, and part of the reason was because of that soundtrack. You know, like back when there was no internet where I could find these bands, the whole fucking, I mean, Mystifier, Mortician, there's Burzum on there, there's fucking Dark Throne on there.
I mean, in the beginning of the movie, they're riding their bikes to Dragonaut by Sleep.
Yeah.
For way too long.
For way too long.
Because that scene goes on for like 15 minutes. And it's like, oh, cool, they're riding their bikes. Oh, cool, they're playing Sleep. Oh, they're still riding their fucking bikes.
Yeah.
They're still doing this.
Yeah. Do you like Sleep?
I'm not the hugest fan, but I do like some of their stuff. I mean, I used to listen to Dope Smoker and I think Holy Mountain. That's the other one. That's the one with Dragonaut, right?
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan of High on Fire because I like the more fast-paced, like thrashier type of doom that Matt Pike does in that band as opposed to Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
As far as stoner metal bands, it really depends. I mean, I was never huge in bands like Electric Wizard or anything like that, or what's that other band? Bong Ripper? Yeah, Bong Ripper.
Yeah.
Wasn't really huge into that stuff. Or Weed Eater.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Caius and Queens of Stone Age. If you want to consider them metal, I don't. But they have that adjacency because of Caius.
I heard that guy's kind of a douchebag.
Josh Homme?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard similar things too.
But yeah, I could never. Stoner metal's the one. I feel like because I'm so picky, it's like I like Sleep, and I'll leave it at Sleep. Like the only other stoner metal I liked a lot, where I listened to the most, was Dope Throne. Have you ever heard of Dope Throne?
Yeah, by Electric Wizard.
No, like the band Dope Throne.
Oh, there's a band called Dope Throne
too.
Okay.
I fucking love them. It's just like, it's the heaviest. Oh, and you know what? I mentioned to you before, Churchburn. My friend introduced me to Churchburn. I don't even know if I would consider them stoner metal but it's so amazing. It's fucking, because it's like heavier Sleep, but with like black metal lyrics, like not lyrics, like singing.
Okay.
The singer's this Japanese guy who he looks like a sumo wrestler, but it sounds like the guy from Watain singing in fucking a heavier Sleep.
Are they a Japanese band, I presume?
No, they're from, I think, New York, possibly.
Okay.
But and Dope Throne I like a lot because the singer is like it's a chick singer, one of the best vocalists I ever seen. She like tatted from head to toe and dreads all the way down to the ground, like the guy from Lamb of God or Shadows Fall. And she's just like, seeing that live, it's like, this isn't even a human person. You know what I mean? Like,
so I got a short story involving Shadows Fall, and that's not to do with them personally.
Yeah.
They're a good band. But I remember one time I saw them live at the Bomb Lounge in Chicago, and this was they were opening up for Killswitch Engage back when Jesse David Leach rejoined the band, and they did the Live or Just Breathing 10-year anniversary tour. Great fucking show.
Is that the one with Last Serenade?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
my favorite album by Killswitch. But anyway, that's beside the point. Shadows Fall was on there, and Brian Ferrer, to anyone who doesn't know, like, has ludicrously long dreadlocks. Like, they are basically like inches from touching the ground.
Yeah. They will fucking absorb a Chicago pothole if he walks by one.
And, they're performing, and he's headbanging, and I'm close by in the crowd, and one of his dreadlocks hits me square in the face. And it's like, it's so fucking oily and nasty. And I felt like I was about to gag right there.
That's hilarious. Do you care if we share some concert stories and then wrap it up?
Sure, that's fine.
All right, yeah. Because I have plenty of these fucking, like, that's absolutely hilarious. Just plenty of situations. Like, I was just talking about the other day how there's just so many fucking funny things I rent. So I have two mosh pit stories. First off, I went to I forgot what band you know what it was? It was Caveller Tech at Bottom Lounge.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
I absolutely love them. They're like
their first album was really good.
I like all their shit, all their stuff. They're like uplifting black metal to me, you know? I guess they're considered fucking black and roll because they say
Yeah.
they're like the fucking AC/DC of black metal.
I can see that.
But I went to go see them, and it was funny because I was like writing a bit about how like white people go through these phases of like avocados are really healthy for you, and then like next, a few months go by and it's like now this is healthy. So like my mom was going through this whole coconut oil is good for everything, and I was going to the show. I just showered. My fucking hair was like, it looked like a L'Oreal commercial. So I'm like, I want to gel it back. Kind of how like I had hair as short as you, so I wanted to gel it back. I didn't have hairspray. I'm like, dude, fuck it. I just took a handful of coconut oil, greased it back, and it worked. It actually works well, and I like it. But I'm in this mosh pit, and I accidentally, this guy, we sort of like simultaneously knock the wind out of each other. Just our elbows hit each other like right where your ribs meet.
Oh, right in the solar plex area.
Yeah, and you're just sort of like, like that video of that lady who's stomping grapes and she falls off,
Yep.
like, and he just like, he grabs me by the shoulder to kind of like be like, oh man, I'm sorry. But instead he grabs me and he goes, dude, you smell beautiful. And then another story I was at, it was the last time I saw, it was a year before Every Time I Die did like their farewell kind of tour. I went to their tour the year before that, and they were playing at Dirty Nelly's in Arlington Heights, which wasn't your regular crowd because it was, it's out in the suburbs. Most people go to their shows in the city. I was actually happy that it was there because I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to go find fucking parking in the city. So I go, and there was just like, there's plenty of these videos making fun of like every guy at a metal show. But there was that guy at the metal show who's literally just there. He doesn't know any of the bands. He doesn't give a fuck about the music. He's just drunk and wants to beat the shit out of people.
Yep, I've definitely seen that.
Or what were you? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Well, I remember like back in the day, like there was this one guy who I would routinely see at concerts, and he was like this big, long hair, biker looking motherfucker. This guy was a giant.
Yeah.
And he was always in mosh pits. But he wasn't really moshing in a typical sense because, when people mosh, they jump into each other, they bump or whatever. He would just walk around the circle, and then people just did not bump into him. And like if there was a person that was close by, he would just like nudge him away.
He'd just walk around.
He'd just walk around
just,
like headbanging, said, yeah.
Just Gandalf.
And then people just like avoided him because he was intimidating as fuck. There's no way you wanted to fuck with him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And there is a guy like that at a lot of shows. That's just so this guy, he's a fucking asshole. He's not even like, he's dressed like he's, I don't even know how to explain it. Like he's going to get drunk on a speedboat, khaki shorts and a fucking, Salt Life white T-shirt,
Oh, those people.
And he's like, he doesn't belong there. He's got like short hair. He's got like that This Is Sparta hair to where when he's sweating, his hair's like dividing in the front,
Yeah.
And I see him, and the first thing that caught my attention was there's like literally like this short goth chick who she's like the most dressed up, fishnets and skeleton like dangly earrings, but she's like probably legally a dwarf because she's like barely 5 feet tall, and he just takes the back of her head. He bumped into her. He takes the back of her head and just slams it down.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, and she just like falls, like she just like curls up like an armadillo. Because she's like, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And then I was about to do something. I was going to like charge at him. And then he did it to me. So at this Every Time I Die show at Dirty Nelly's. So I'm like, you know what, motherfucker? And I go in there and I charge at him. I do like this. I hit the side of my forearm into his throat. And he like starts going at me. So I start like punching his face like a speed bag. His two friends, they hold my arms back, kind of like I'm getting crucified, and so that he can go at me. I could see security coming, but I'm like, dude, I don't want to chip a tooth. It's time to fight dirty. Like, I'll bite a nose off if I have to. So what I did, just gets better and better. Do you remember like NWO, how the Wolfpack symbol?
Yes, the two sweets.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shove my thumb, my middle finger, my ring finger down his throat, and then just put my fucking pinky and point finger in his eyes. And I do that shit, and he's just like, oh, it's fucking him up. And then security got us apart, and we were fine. And the show keeps going, and this guy is such a drunk motherfucker that later on, he half falls. Like I fall in the pit, and he picks me up. He goes, "Hey, you doing okay, bud?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Sorry for that thing earlier, but you're doing some fucked up shit." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So he was just so drunk, he didn't know what happened. But the funniest thing was that I was having that office job at the time, and I literally had like an itchy knuckle for like 3 weeks because his bite marks on it. So, but it was fucked up. And then the only other, I guess, or we could exchange. Do you have another story?
I don't think I could really top, having to basically put the two sweet symbol down someone's throat like that. I mean, I don't think I can really top
Sacco!
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can really top that. I mean, most of my kind of stories like, oh, look at that guy, he's drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him, he's drunk. I mean, I didn't really do anything crazy because I was behaved. So that makes me fucking boring.
No, I could share another so I was at this phase where I was kind of getting into, like, this was around that Every Time I Die 2003, so I was maybe like a sophomore in high school, and I was getting into this math core of like, yeah, every time what we were saying, Dillinger Escape Plan, Botch, Coalesce, Converge, I still love to this day.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites.
And but also what was kind of like forking off of that, of like, because Hatebreed's involved, was like all those fucking like almost like douchebag hardcore bands. I mean, I still like them, but the fans are like Sworn Enemy, Madball, Agnostic Front.
But I do like Madball though. Madball's the shit.
I do like them, but like I told my friend, I'm like, let's go to this fucking, like, you think we just went to see Slayer and Hatebreed. I'm like, you want to see a fucking messed up show? Let's go see Agnostic Front. And we go, and I didn't know, this was like, I didn't know this at the time, that they have a huge, very asshole skinhead following.
Yes.
Very asshole. Like, I don't even know if they're racist. I don't even know if they're not racist. They're just these guys who just fucking get drunk and beat the shit out of each other, like American skinhead, And I was so pissed because I was like, I went there, number one, expecting, I never listened to them. So I'm thinking like, oh, they might sound like Hatebreed. No, it's just like, duh, you gotta just sound like, that like vocals he has.
Yeah, it's very like,
bring yourself up.
It's very primitive New York hardcore.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I don't even like this music. These fucking crowd is assholes. So I start going towards the back with my friend. He's like, dude, I asked him, like, dude, you want to leave? Because this is fucking stupid. Like, it was like $15. I think it was I forgot where it was. It was one of these Chicago venues, Riviera, Vic, or not House of Blues, but maybe Riviera or Vic. But we're walking towards the back, and I'm looking for the bathroom. I'm like, because we're going to take the L back. My friend's obliterated. So I see this door open, and I go there thinking it's the hallway to the bathroom. It was backstage. So I'm like, dude, let's just go here. And we ended up just drinking a 12-pack of beer and eating a shit ton of mac and cheese and Italian beef that was for Agnostic Front. Then we get kicked out. And then the funny thing is we're on the train, and there's a homeless guy. My friend is feeling like shit because he was already way too drunk. Now he's like topping that off with disgusting catered mac and cheese. So he's standing up on the L. Like, I don't know why he didn't sit down, but he's standing, trying to hold on to the bar while this fucking train is swiveling left and right.
Not a great position.
Yeah. And in front of him, there's like this Rastafarian looking bum, and he just hurled all over his dreads. And the guy didn't even wake up. So he just like got off the next stop and then went on the next train. I guess I don't know what happened.
So your friend just like fucking puked all over this guy. And this guy didn't even wake up, and he just bailed.
Yeah, like it was. Oh man, it was so ridiculous. But I have tons of these. Like, so the first metal show I ever went. I probably should have started chronologically. I tricked my mom because, like I said, I grew up in a foreign family. I really wanted to go to a metal show, and she wouldn't take me. She obviously she is not going to be into this shit. So I told her that Black Sabbath is playing. So it's classic rock. Don't worry about it. And it was supposed to be Black Sabbath's last show ever, Ozfest 99. So then she took me, and it just scared the living shit out of her and my aunt, because my aunt was like, "Oh, it's classic rock. I'm coming with." And then sure enough, there's fucking Rob Zombie, Slipknot,
Yeah.
My like the thing I was most happy about that year was that was Meshuggah's first time in the States, and nobody heard of them. Like there wasn't a lot they didn't really like get viral online or anything.
No, that didn't happen until like 10 years later.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember being at that show and everybody was like, what the fuck is this? This weird like 8/16 count song structure. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And then I don't know where I can go from there. I mean, I remember the next year my friend and I went to Ozfest 2000, and it was so funny. So my friend, this guy John, I know him for 25 years. He's kind of a douche now. It's one of those friendships where it's like, well, we've been friends for 20 years. We may as well be friends for 21. And then 21 years, we're like, we fucking hate each other, but hey, we're 21 years and going. Let's be friends for 22.
Right.
And so like now he's just like one of those guys I think he might be a little bit on the spectrum, but he refuses to do anything like social. So all he wants to do is like, hey, dude, want to do this 100-mile marathon or like this biking trek? Like, I'm like, no, man, I'm just not into this stuff. So we went to Ozfest 2000. His dad, even though he's Polish, because a lot of Polish people are super ignorant, and it's like you have to be Catholic if you're Polish. He became Buddhist because his wife died, my friend's mom. So he sort of like that Buddhism helped him cope with it. And he's like, yeah, you want to go see Pantera, not knowing anything about Pantera. And that ended up being the year where they like started a like 20-foot garbage fire in the fields. And he was super pissed off that we went to that. It was so ridiculous. I don't know because it's at Tinley Park. So basically what they did is Pantera went on, and that was the year that they had that album with the fucking Revolution Is My Name or whatever.
Reinventing the Steel.
Yeah. So the whole cover is covered in flames, and how Pantera fans are. As far as not even with the
Rowdy.
album. Yeah.
Let's just say that.
And they're very much into burning things like maybe crosses on people's lawns.
I'm sure there's a certain subcategory.
Yeah, so
unfortunately.
But the thing that made me laugh my ass off, because it was like we're in the lawn general admission, so it's on an angle. So they just set all these garbage cans on fire, but they're like rolling down the hill on fire. So you're kind of like trying to do this circle pit while you're skipping over a garbage can that's on fire.
Make it sound like a game of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it does sound like that. I don't know. I don't know if I have any other weird fucking concert story. I mean, do you like Thrill Kill Cult?
I did get into some of their stuff, particularly the first album, Confessions of a Knife.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. One of the worst band names, because it's not Thrill Kill Cult.
It's
My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult.
Yeah.
It's like just call yourself Thrill Kill or Thrill Kill Cult.
Yeah.
Why do you have to go with My Life with the? That's such a dumbass name for a band.
Yeah, I like the name as a whole, but as far as putting that on a fucking poster or in any playlist, it's just so ridiculous. I got into them because I love the movie The Crow.
Yeah, and one of their songs was in the soundtrack.
Yeah. They were the band in the movie as well. Do you remember that or no?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in the shootout, it was
okay.
And they I just know a bunch of random useless facts about the fucking movie. It's kind of like almost that whole shootout scene is almost like completely copied of Dark Knight. When Joker shows up at that round table.
Yeah.
The other thing that's cool is that fucking warehouse where they're playing at is the same set they used in Ninja Turtles 1 for the shredder layer.
That makes sense.
For like so, but I got to I did a meet and greet with them, and man, those guys are so old. Like, but the funny thing about, so here's what happened with Thrill Kill Cult. I'm such a fucking idiot. This is why I attach the whole wild thing to my name, honestly, because I always took shit to the extreme. Like, did you ever do triple C's growing up?
What's that?
Quercetin, cough medicine, like getting high off cough shit.
Surprisingly, no.
Yeah, so there was so people got, so there's the real shit that sipping on some scissor means, which is just lean, which is codeine.
Right.
But then all these, like, I knew a lot of white kids that we just get high off. I didn't do it a lot, thankfully, but we just, you chug fucking 3 Dayquils or some shit, What happened is my friend's like, yo, dude, you should take triple C's, which were cough pills. And it's like recommended you're supposed to take like 2 a day. He's like, my friend told me to take 8, so I'm taking 16.
What the fuck?
So then I'm a fucking idiot. I'm like, well, I'm taking 32.
Oh, dude.
So that's just how I did wild shit, which I think I'm gonna tell a bit about that, because what happened is the day I did that, the one time that I did that, we got snowed in, so his dad couldn't come home, and we couldn't sleep because it's basically got the same ingredient as meth. So we're like, well, what are we gonna do? And we were up for 48 hours straight, just played Silent Hill all the way through. And it was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced, but in a cool way. When have you ever I feel like every Chicago kid has this experience of just breaking into abandoned places.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that feeling where you're in an abandoned place and you're like, this is cool. It could be haunted, or we could like play tag and break anything and not worry about it,
More likely it's just like a creaky floorboard, but that makes, there's someone here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the feeling I got, because it was like, holy shit, it's snowing outside. Holy shit, it's snowing throughout this game. And I like started hearing those fucking dogs in real life, the skin dogs in there. Anyways, the point that I'm getting at is I was going to go see, so my brother's got a little bit of fucking social anxiety with going to like live shows and stuff. So he asked me, what do you want for your birthday? I said, dude, because he's got a similar humor to me. He's kind of goofier. So I'm like, dude, let's just get high and go to Thrill Kill Cult, because it's just a huge dance party. That's all the show is. It's just people dancing however the fuck, like a goth dance,
And goth dancing is fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like if you actually see like true goths, not like metalheads, like true goths dancing.
Yeah.
Like to do like a lot of this arm swaying thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like
they dress like Amy Simon.
It's the goofiest fucking dancing ever for the most pretentious aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And so I'm like, yeah, for my birthday, I just want you to go to this show with me and have a good time. So I sold weed for 10 years. It's probably like half the reason why I could even afford getting a house. But when I made, so at this point when I was selling, I had these computer like geeks that worked for a huge fucking software company. And I made brownies one time, and they're like, dude, listen, I will pay quadruple the amount you charge if you make brownies again. Because I was like, I don't want to fucking like make brownies again and like be shuffling a beaker with a chef's hat all day for you motherfuckers. But when he mentioned like, I'll pay you quadruple, I'm like, dude, fuck it, I'll just do it. And I made them way too potent. Like, have you ever made brownies at home?
No.
So the way you do it, long story short, is weed is crystallized, so you have to have it hot enough to where it melts the crystals into the oil or the butter, but it doesn't burn it. And because I was afraid of burning it, and because I take it to the extreme, I was like, okay, this recipe says put an eighth in for 6 brownies. I'm like, I'm going to put a quad in.
Oh, for fuck's sake, dude.
In case it gets burned. So
you put a fucking quad in there,
so, and that's just one batch. I made
dude.
I was supposed that's a batch for 6 brownies. I made, no joke, 120 brownies, and I made dude, bro, it was good profit. It was like close to $5,000. So, but anyways, the point is that when it comes out, it's supposed to be almost like golden amber, like the fucking cane in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Mine was like motor oil because there was so much fucking like weed and crystals in there. So I'm like, all right, we're going to throw a kill cult, and I'm like, you know what? Like I said, taking it to the extreme. I'm gonna take the most extreme, possibly an extreme trip at the place where I shouldn't, around a bunch of like freaky goth fans. And it was so funny because that year I ate half a brownie, and it's the usual story. It's not kicking in. What do I do? Eat the rest of it. You're supposed to, people don't know this, you're supposed to nibble edibles.
Right.
So I ate the other half, and then we get in the car. I'm like, it's still not kicking in. Like, I want this to be active during the show. So I just ate a whole nother brownie of this quad batch. I show up, and this shit made me, my brother still makes fun of me. Like, we didn't see the show because I walked in, it kicks in, and I seen, like, Thrill Kill Cult is like, they started in like 87. I must have seen their first fan because there was this lady who looked like she's in her 70s. She's in a ballerina tutu. You could see like half her pussy coming out of the fucking like her Speedos. And I just see that shit, and it was scaring the shit out. I ran out of there crying. And my brother's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm having an anxiety attack. It looks so sick." And I just I sprinted 3 times around the block of where the bottom lounge is. And I'm like, this anxiety attack isn't, I can't stop thinking about her ballerina 7-year-old pussy. And he's like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, we're supposed to see this show. I'm not doing this with you again." I'm like, "I don't care. We're leaving." So that's what happened there.
Damn.
Same thing happened again with this band Goat. Have you ever heard of Goat?
I have heard of Goat.
They're like psych rock, and they wear like
Yeah.
deer antlers. Same thing happened with them. I took brownies. They come on stage. I can't take this shit, and I ran out, and my friend was pissed because Goat rarely comes, and when they do, the tickets are like $60 each because it's a pretty big performance. But anyways, I think I'm all out of concert stories. I think it's a good time to wrap up.
I would say it's a good time to wrap up.
Yeah,
we talked about some important things like Nazis and black metal, and I think that was it.
Yeah. No, dude. But in all honesty, I'm drifting away from that shit. Like, I figure the happier my life got, the more I didn't need to listen to that shit, because that's just like, I don't know. That's honestly why the ongoing joke of why I got obsessed with Oasis. It's true. I know you don't think highly of but I will tell you, just to take one for the band. The reason why, see, here's what's interesting. A lot of people, they like you say, you don't like Champagne Supernova, you don't like Wonderwall, right?
I do not like those songs.
But do you know any other ones?
That's really about it.
Yeah. And I'm not putting you on the spot, but it's just like one day in like during all this shit where I had all these fucking deaths in my family, it's a lockdown, I'm in a fucking suicide prevention program, and I was like, dude, what the hell, what does the rest of Oasis sound like? Because I love Britpop. I think you said you're not like too fond of it.
Depends on the band.
Like you said you like Cocteau Twins. Do you like Jesus and Mary Chain?
Yeah, I actually did see them live.
With 9 Inch Nails?
No, I saw them at the Riv. They were doing their anniversary tour for Psycho Candy.
Oh, nice.
So they did that in its entirety. That was really cool.
Yeah, I love all that Brit fucking, do you know Lush?
I do know of them. I haven't really got into them. I mean, I also I like the band James. I know they're not really British. I think they're more like Scottish or something like that.
Okay.
Or Irish. I don't know which. UK, let's just say that.
Yeah. Or Swerve Driver.
Never really got into that.
Okay. Yeah, but anyways, during that time, I'm like, what the fuck else does Oasis sound like? And I checked them out, dude. It's unbelievable. What I found out is that their manager only pushed those two singles in America, and that's why like a lot of people didn't find out about them. But I don't know. I ended up becoming obsessed. It's an ongoing joke. But anyways, man, thank you for coming on the
Hey,
podcast. Thank you
pleasure.
for coming out, dude.
No problem.
It was seriously, I think it was a productive conversation on comedy. If you want me to edit out the Nazis, I will.
The Nazis won't edit themselves.
Yeah.
So,
You know like the best part I love though is trying to hear themselves defend themselves, Like
right. Which
it's-
is very piss poor.
yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you can just follow me on Instagram, Kyle Allen Comedy, and follow me on social media for that one, and you can keep up with whatever shows I'm doing in the future. And Nazi punks, fuck off.
Yeah.